Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in a moment.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in a moment.
Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in a moment.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in a moment.
Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in a moment.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in a moment.
Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you.
Wherever you go, you can listen to the news. You can sleep with the blues on this wonderful, wonderful station. Just take a lively companion wherever you go. Take a portable radio. Take a portable radio.
Now, here comes the music.
Oh my God, phone the neighbors, wake the kids, grab your wig and keys. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the show on a Tuesday night right here from Phoenix, Arizona. And we're almost all here tonight, but we're not. Fear not.
So close.
Marnie is out. Doug Wilkie is on the way, but in Marnie's style, he said he'd be late. So I think that fits perfectly.
I like that he assumes the personality of whoever he's covering for.
Right.
That actually weirdly makes me happy.
Huh. Well, I'll have to analyze that when he gets here, figure that one out.
Yeah, I'm going to ask him about it.
You should. I think it's damn time he explains himself.
Douglas Marine, are you a sociopath?
That's fantastic.
Well, we go into tonight's show well-fed and, really with all the ambiance and all of the pageantry that any winning team could possibly have. Kat Carlson,
We're winners.
you have... Oh, no, I'm well aware. We're winners. But
All the hoodies in the world.
you were kind enough to supply us, and I'm going to cut right to the shot. This is our cake treat. What is it called? A cake plate? What's that called?
It's a national treat, is what it is.
Yeah. So we've got hamburgers.
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 Well, what did he call them? Hamburgers?
Hamburgers.
Yeah. Now we
So
don't
the
have
president.
Hamburgers. Durs.
Oh,
Durs.
hamburgers.
Yeah, but he misspelled ham too. Like he started off wrong.
Oh, hold on.
Were they hamburgers?
So what we've got?
I looked it up.
So we don't have silver platters in my house, and we don't have a candelabra. And I realize you're saying, really, Clayton, you don't have a candelabra
We're all
just
very
laying around?
disappointed,
I
honestly.
was, but I have a cake tree for somebody who doesn't bake. Is really odd. And we have a little dollar candle from the store sitting right there. So I think that's about as fancy as
my nuts.
we're gonna get. Wow.
Settle down.
Okay, phrasing is really important during a show like this.
Settle down.
I just found them.
So and then Al has left the studio. We are 90 seconds into the show and Al leaves.
Listen, this is America. This is 2019. Winners get hamburgers,
Oh,
and we
yeah.
are winners.
We are. Nobody said, did anybody say we weren't?
Well, there may be a few.
Could be. But anyway, that was lovely. And if you add enough other condiments to a McDonald's cheeseburger, regular cheeseburger, you can almost make a burger out of it.
Ketchup sandwich.
Yeah, really. Pretty much some cheese, onion. Well, they're rehydrated onions because they actually ship they're all dry.
That's true.
They rehydrate onions. I don't know if they do that with pickles or not. I can't recall.
They don't. The pickles come in like a big weird sack.
Like an amoeba-like bag thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very awkward to carry around, and they really suck when they rip and you're carrying them.
Oh, I imagine.
I had my first
Smell
Big
like
Mac
pickles
just
for
in
a
the last
month.
year, so
Oh.
I had
2 all beef patties, special
Special
sauce,
sauce,
lettuce, cheese,
because
pickles
I
on
just
it.
said
Yeah,
seed
yeah.
bun.
Yeah.
I knew the recipe.
Since the 70s.
Yeah, exactly. Since I was a wee child. But I had not ever tasted one. But
Yeah.
these, I just remember them being a little bit more substantial,
better,
maybe.
right?
Well, I think back in the
Or I
day,
was
they,
easier to feed.
I think back in the day they were a
Potato,
little more
potato.
substantial. I'm going to guess, but maybe over the years, budget cuts have slowed down.
I'm
the,
assuming they're still like 99 cents or something ridiculous. $1.29.
They're fairly inexpensive.
yeah,
Yeah.
something. Sometimes they all do like a 49. Like, do they do
I feel
49
like they
cent
were
cheeseburgers?
2 for $3.
Oh, something. Okay, it's been a
I
while.
probably have my receipt somewhere. I don't care.
You're not really going to write that
It
off
is-
You know
on
what?
your
I'm
taxes.
not-
it's why
nothing
it's
is
a big
too
part of
good
the food
for-
desert. Yeah.
Nothing is too good for American heroes such as yourselves.
Oh,
No, you're the real hero.
I know. You're welcome.
well, it's quite all right. Well, anywho, we're back. And nobody else. Oh,
Here
that's
we
what I
are.
was trying to
Nobody's
do.
here.
Nobody's in the chat room. Apparently, I don't know where they are, but it doesn't make sense. My mom is listening. I'm sure she'll chime in
their
somewhere.
leader is tardy.
Oh, yeah. Me
Yeah.
or Doug?
Well, hello, Mialka.
Oh.
We have a story. I have a story for you later.
Oh, goodness.
But I wasn't sure if it was
Welcome back.
true or false.
Is it a show or a story you can share in the chat room live, or is this like going to be a you got to
It's
talk
one of our
private?
headlines.
Oh, it's a headline.
Headline.
My
Ooh.
gosh.
Ah.
It's very exciting things to look
Oh,
forward
and
to.
Amina, are you safe?
Were you in danger? I didn't know we were in danger.
There was shooting, I think, in
That's awful.
Kenya, because our other friend from there, Cynthia, I think.
Sure.
Ooh.
Mark yourself safe.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
All right.
So I was thinking of Amina just today.
Oh, and there's Mama Di. And no, it's busy. It's getting busy in the chat room now. My gosh. I mean,
All the ships at sea. Look at them all.
they're all well. There's
Oh,
a
and
couple somewhere.
Danielle is in the
Oh, in the YouTube chat room.
YouTube chat room.
I got a message from her. What was it, Danielle? Oh, so Summer commented on something on my. I got a notification on my phone here. What did she comment on? Loading. Oh, it's just my picture of my 2009 2019 picture. Yeah, that's it. No big deal.
Oh, I forgot to do that.
Pretty
That
much
was-
the same. Really? You
I'm-
forgot? I
No,
bet you
you
just
know
were
what's really
opposing
funny
it.
is I was opposed to it, and then I got curious and went to look, and it turns out one of my oldest photos on Facebook has Marnie Ryer in it
Oh wow.
from 2008ish, I
9?
think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
somewhere around there. We were at the
Color me curious.
we were at a march protesting Proposition 8 in California.
Okay.
Way back in the day,
Right.
we were protest buddies. We were our first protests together.
Well, do pull. I'd love to
I
see
know. You
it.
want to see that picture?
Do
It's fine.
pull it up.
Yeah,
Send it-
I'll send it on over to you.
send
But
it, we'll
I was going to
share
try
it.
and recreate it with Marnie Ryer
Oh,
today.
I think that's a
But
great one.
unfortunately,
Wouldn't
she's
that be fun?
avoiding it.
But
yeah.
unfortunately, she's ducking me. She doesn't even owe me money. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe you could do it with Doug when he gets here.
Any boy will do.
Sure. Well, I was, he's taking the
Clearly-
place of Marnie tonight.
That's super happening now because that's fantastic.
Now I forgot. Oh, Madagascar. That's what I called her on her Christmas card.
Oh, not add photo. Look for photos. Mm-hmm. You called someone Madagascar?
Well, Ryer.
Yeah, I mailed their Christmas card and I sent it out to Di, Ernie, and Madagascar.
Oh, that's cute.
Did you say Christmica?
Or their Christmas card. Yeah, I don't know.
Not a Hanukkah, but a
And Dan
Christmas
is here with us. Summer, what?
People are everywhere. My gosh.
Barely got my pants on.
We're glad that you do, though.
Did you ride here?
We're really excited
I
about the
Ubered.
pants.
Oh, you Ubered here.
I spent
Because what I'm waiting
I
for-
spent enough time in the fucking rain.
What I'm waiting for, and maybe we have to wait till the summer when it dries out here in Phoenix again. I'm waiting for your review of the new crosswalk at Highland and 7th Avenue. Because now they've got a full hawk light there where you
Is
can
the
cross.
light there?
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm
The-
excited
The
for
light
you.
must have just gone in the last little bit because the last time
They did it over New Year's, and it became active the 3rd day of January.
I was gonna say yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And I hadn't seen it active until last night. Actually, driving me down 7th, all of a sudden somebody crossed.
Harrison and I went for a walk on the 2nd, and that was the last time I looked. We walked that way, and I'm like, well, someday they'll turn on this motherfucking
Yeah.
light. All the things are here. Turn it on.
And I was excited because like this is Al's Crossing. In fact, I want to put up a sign.
Yeah.
That just says Al's Crossing. Here with a little picture of you.
Safety
That'll
for
be
Al.
a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Safety for Al.
And
And then there's another one that because
Watch for Al. Al's Crossing.
they're about to activate the one just a little further south where the canal crosses.
Oh.
So you'll have multiple spots where you can.
I
come
feel
and go.
like we read from their Christmas card, didn't we? Didn't you show it to us?
Yes.
I'm certain I did. Well, actually, no. Of course I did because I actually scanned it and sent it to all of you.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, Daniel, you got your card. Yeah. I mean, I don't have it now, not right in this minute, but I had it, and then I
Not
showed
in
it.
my hand.
because it
but
got there.
It arrived, and
It
then we
ti-
shared
it-
it. We digested it.
Yes.
We took it all in.
I could actually pull it
We
up and show
basked
you.
in its glory.
It got here the day after we did our last show of last year. So
Right.
timing is everything, my
So
dear.
long ago.
When you're trying to mail something from Tulsa, Oklahoma to get to here, sometimes it just doesn't work in your favor.
Oh, and anybody who was on my Christmas card list, if you got them before the 27th, God bless you.
Oh. Little delay.
They must live next door.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. Oh.
I'm very funny. Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
Well, welcome.
Well,
nice
you
of
know
you.
what?
So
You-
nice
and
of
to
you.
look at this picture, let me get this downloaded. To look at this picture,
We look exactly the same. I know it's freaky.
exactly, you do. Like
kind
you
of fun.
haven't aged. I mean, Marnie may have a little more gray hair now than she did, but
Yeah.
that's it. That is all there is to that. Hang on, where's my downloaded file?
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
We're so close yet so far. Why won't this work?
I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Boom, boom. Look at this.
a
Look at
lovely
this.
photo.
Magical.
Look at that. Like it was yesterday.
Oh, that's fun. That really does look like it was yesterday.
Yeah, that was 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the magic of lesbian aging. I've told this story many times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Many times.
All right,
We'll
you-
look exactly the same until literally one day
And then boom.
either of us will wake up and we will look like the goddamn crypt keeper and it'll never go back. Like all of a sudden we'll go from looking like a 14-year-old boy to a 900-year-old woman
I'm gonna
in a day.
I'm gonna ask two things
Two
for you on
things.
this. One, I hope that is a long time for you kids. Number one. Number two, I'm gonna
It's
need.
not as long for Marnie as it will be for me.
I'm gonna need a little advance notice when it happens because
that's
if
not
you
how this
walk
works.
if you walk into this house and I don't recognize you,
Yeah. Maybe then we'll get a fucking filter on these lights.
no, God no, no.
The
No, that's just how that'll work.
anti
Can't do anything about it. Yeah, I was trying to look for
Random
the date, but my God, that
question.
was so long ago.
How
Random
long have
question.
y'all had your post office mailing address? I have lived at this address for 18 years. So, Amina, that's how long.
Yeah, Mom.
I'm at 5.
Where's
where
Marnie?
I'm at, I
We
think.
we don't know. We have no idea where Marnie.
It's a new game we're playing.
Yeah.
She
Where
wears a
in the-
striped shirt and drives a
Where
Subaru
in
around the city.
fuck is Marnie?
Where in the world is Marnie San Diego?
Yeah, I've had my mailing. I'll be 10 years in my house
It's very exciting.
this April.
Yeah. Now, is that a question like how long has everybody lived where they live, or were you trying to send something to an address and it got rejected? Like, I don't know what that question really is for. That's
Maybe.
but by
That's
the
what makes it so random.
Summer, to answer your question, Marnie, she notified us earlier in the day she was not going to be able to play in the sandbox tonight. So the illustrious guest villainist Doug Wilkie is en route from downtown Phoenix right now. He will be joining us momentarily to round out the cast of tonight's show. And we'll have a full house. And I'm sure many topics will be discussed.
Oh,
So
yeah.
many things.
Things happening. And what, by the way, there's you got coffee. Oh, you both have coffee.
Yeah, it was medically
It
necessary.
was in the place where it usually is.
Yeah, well, but sometimes he walks in and
I know
asks,
I haven't been here for a month, but same.
he asks if I made coffee. I make coffee every Tuesday because that's just how we do.
why I don't ask.
What
How were your
Praise
holidays?
Lord,
How is everybody?
7.8.
It's
yeah,
over.
But
Thank
what'd you do?
God.
My gosh.
Where have you been? What have you been up to? I feel like we have so much to catch up on.
We have so much to catch up on. It's been ages. I think it's been since like my birthday since I was here last, which
Was
happened
it
a
late,
long time
was it
ago.
late November? Were you here? Were you
I was
here
here
in
at the beginning of
though?
December.
Were you? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
'cause
the
the-
ones.
Because incidentally, the last show that's uploaded is December 4th.
Calm down. Let's yeah. I've got a lot of editing to do and uploading
All
to
right,
do.
were there things that had to be edited out? I went to listen.
No, I just haven't
Yeah.
done it. It got all away from me, and then
I wanted to be not redundant and listen to at least the catching up portion of last week, and I didn't.
The
I
only
ended up
way you-
listening and laughing at my own jokes from the 4th, and
The only way you
I'm
can-
hilarious, by
you
the way.
can you can immediately listen because the YouTube is posted the second we're off the
Oh,
air.
I didn't think of
So
that.
the
And I
YouTube
was in a
audio
car.
is there, but no, I've got to update the audio only 24/7 beat you over the head portion
Yeah.
of the program. I've got to do that.
So sadly, I don't know what you all have been doing, but
Well, we've seen you. I've seen you a couple of times.
but no, we had lovely holidays, and we went out of town for Christmas, and then we had the Adventures and Hangovers for New Year's, and then I got horribly sick,
Oh,
and then I worked and I worked and I worked, and here I am. Yeah.
I'm guessing the sick part got taken care of pretty well. You seem to
I'm
have
assuming
survived
so.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you seem to have survived.
No, it was just that terrible cold that's going around, and it's extremely rare for me to take off of work at all, and even less so have I ever called in sick.
You mean work you get paid for?
Well, I
Because
mean,
you're out of here
yeah.
like in a blink.
listen. Here's something that happened to me last year. I turned 40, and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Look,
Wait till you get to 50. I mean,
I can't wait.
I'm knocking on the door. He's already there.
I can't wait. No, I'm excited.
It's funny how every 10 years you care less.
If not giving a shit is the result of getting older,
You-
bring on the birthdays.
You think I don't care now? Give me a minute. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, unpaid work can definitely suck it if I don't have
How
time. But
now? And you drove to your family gathering, correct?
to the Salt Lake City, I
yes.
sure did.
you-
Yeah.
and it was just you and Sharon.
Yes, because and that's part of the reason that we decided to go to Salt Lake for Christmas, because we usually stay home and have Christmas with the kids at home and Sharon's parents, rather than travel. And so, yeah, the boys were out of town because they were with their father this year for Christmas, so they were gone and away, and Christmas just happened to fall in a place in the week where I had enough time to drive there and enjoy a holiday and then drive back home
Oh, nice.
and not miss any work
Right. How was
because of
it?
the aforementioned never taking off of work.
Right. Now, when we last spoke about your travel, your plan was
Yeah.
get off work middle of the night,
Oh,
go home, wake up Sharon, throw in the van, and drive.
did that.
How? That worked out real well?
Worked out great.
How far did you get before you decided to pull over and take a sleeper?
Not quite Flagstaff. I was hoping
Oh.
I was hoping to get to Flagstaff and then pull over and take a nap because that should have been right when the sun was coming up. Perfect. But
5:36
I
in
didn't
the
quite.
morning.
I didn't quite make it to Flagstaff, so we pulled over at the. Well, I think it's the Lookout rest stop right there,
Okay.
about 40 minutes outside of Flagstaff. And I said, I'm done.
Right.
Can't anymore. And I curled up in the passenger seat. And I slept for about 5 hours, and the drive up was real short.
Yeah.
Oh, so she continued driving.
Oh, sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know if maybe you just decided to pull over and you were just going to nod off for a while, and that's
And
what
she's
it is.
just gonna sit there and watch me.
Well,
That's
I
weird.
wasn't sure what she was
Super
doing.
weird.
You're
Well,
women are-
I mean, is she able to sleep while you're driving?
No, she doesn't sleep in a car, so that sucks for her.
Oh.
No.
not for her, not for Kat.
Okay by me.
Sucks for Sharon.
Yeah, no, she doesn't
Wow.
she doesn't sleep well in a car. That would work out even better.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I think I could sleep about anywhere.
But I mean, the drive was easy. There was nobody. We picked the absolute best day ever to drive across country because the Sunday before Christmas, nobody was anywhere.
Oh, that's cool.
Anywhere. It was fantastic.
No bad weather. You had good.
No
good
bad
going?
weather. It snowed the day that we came home. So I got to shovel for the first time in like 15 years.
How exciting.
Yeah.
And I got to drive around in snow for like 10 minutes till I got to the freeway for the first time in like 15 years. Woo!
Yeah.
Wow.
Glad
I
to-
can wait another 15.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
good.
exactly. Not a
Go-
fan.
go-
I
Glad to
saw
leave
it.
that behind.
It wasn't terrible. It was fine.
Cool.
Yeah, and that happened. And Christmas, it turns out, hasn't changed in all the years.
Yeah.
Everybody still sits at the same place, and everybody's still the same pain in the ass, and the same people are still drunk too early, and the same people are still bitching about whatever they're bitching about. And
Wow. I'm glad you went home to catch up on all that.
No,
Aren't you?
but it's not like it's nice in a way that it hasn't changed.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And mine has all changed, obviously, because, families passed on. And like Mom and I were talking, it's not the same at all. Like, no aspect of it
Well,
is.
and mine will go away sometime reasonably soon. My grandparents are in their late 80s, so they're not going to last forever.
Right. They don't.
Quite some time still, but, we hope, but not forever.
And then
So it's nice to be able to go.
And jumping ahead, last week, which was funny because you sent the message saying you had just learned how to use a calendar.
In a new understanding of how calendars work.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about
You
the cobalt
had
outing.
last Tuesday was your and for those people who aren't in the bar industry, a lot of bars do this. After the holidays, the madness that starts right after Halloween, going into the Thanksgiving and everything else.
Oh, yeah.
Bars usually will often do their holiday parties in January. After you've made all your money and you've just lived through all the hell that there is.
Right. We've survived and we don't have shit to talk about, so we may as well go drink.
So
together.
your bar had their holiday party, post-holiday party on Tuesday of last week.
Did.
What did you do?
It was a lovely time. We went to dinner,
Oh,
and at Forno 301, just down the street here. I guess it's down at Central and McDowell.
oh, okay.
In that weird little like commune that they built down there with like 2 restaurants and all the apartments right there on the
Oh,
corner.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we went there, and apparently Jeffrey forgot just how many people work for him. So we had to expand a few tables, which was lovely.
Okay.
And then
What was your head count on that? How many you got? 25, 30?
yeah, something like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Because by the time you add some, some plus ones and some,
Oh, there's that. Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
we had quite the large group, and that was lovely. And the downside to that is apparently that when the boss is not at your table, you order shots throughout
Oh,
dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1 or 2 people maybe had a terrible end of their evening because of course dinner finished and they said, "Oh, well, we should go to the bar and have a drink." And I'm thinking to myself, "What the fuck are we gonna do that for?" But okay, sure.
Yeah. Or go to another bar. Well, Ra was your star tender for the night,
He
right?
was,
Ron
yeah, he
Rogers.
was.
Yeah. So.
And I had the pleasure of calling him to alert him that we were running quite late. He was delighted.
Not at all.
Not at
delighted.
all. Not
Whatever,
delighted.
she's
But
fine.
whatever. He was fine. No, he was wonderful, and it was nice to see him. But yeah, so that happened, and then I went to wander on home, and I found a coworker just kind of sadly on a curb next to a dumpster. And so I said, "Get in the car.
Yeah.
You're going home."
I didn't know Jason Carlton worked for you.
He's a subcontractor. And it occurs to me. The number of friends that I've met outside of a bar behind a dumpster
Yeah.
is kind of large.
Wow.
It's more people than I want to really admit,
Yeah.
but I can think of a few friends that I've made in the past that I initially found them outside by the dumpster.
Yep.
If you
Good
can't,
times.
if you can't love them at their worst, you don't deserve them at their best.
God.
Something like that.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, good. Everything else.
Yeah.
Now, are you back in
Everything's
production
wonderful.
on the old shirts? The
I
shirt
am
realm?
back in production. I produced some today.
Very good.
And delivered them just before I came here, and that was productive.
That's what production is. Productive.
Yeah,
Very
I
good.
produced some things, and I've got a couple other projects in the works. So yeah, we're just
A couple other projects aside from shirts, or more?
no,
just
no,
more shirts?
more like
Okay.
more
Like I didn't know
shirt
if
things
the
coming.
empire was building. Like I don't know what you were doing.
Oh, I
My
did buy
God.
a new toy though.
Okay, wait a minute.
No,
Now,
not like that.
Phrasing
no,
is very
no.
important. Okay.
Yeah.
God damn it!
You brought a new
Not everything is
production
dildos.
toy.
I bought.
I think that should be that's a lovely children's
Yeah.
book.
Oh my god! And now I can make bumper stickers that say it because I bought a vinyl cutter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bought a big it's like 3 feet wide, so I can cut like big decals and stuff.
Okay.
And also sometimes in if you're making just like 1 or 2 shirts, or if you're putting like names on shirts, a lot of times you use heat transfer vinyl. You cut them out
Right.
and then just press them on instead
Sure.
of going through all the screen printing. So now I have that to figure out how to use.
Oh, look at you.
And once I do, then I can make a bumper sticker that says anything that I want. I can make it say, "Not everything is dildos."
Not everything's a dildo, right?
Yeah.
Or everything's a dildo if you're brave.
Oh my God. I have been saying that all week.
If you're open-minded.
That's lip.
My gosh.
Is that what has to be open?
I am suffering.
No,
I ran.
other end.
Other
Turns
end.
out it's the other side.
I ran out of my normal lip product, which is Carmex in the tube, and I went in the bathroom and there's a box of just random, the lip things come from everywhere, gift bags from events
Oh
and
yeah,
shit.
I hate the Fireball ones.
And this is
are awful.
Yeah. This one is a chapstick, but it's a watermelon flavor, and I feel like it's the Bonnie Bell shit that we had that was all over the place in junior high.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just suffering through this. So I taste watermelon.
I have some regular chapstick. Do you
No,
want
I'm good.
some?
No, I'm good.
All
I'll
right.
make it through. I'll get through. I mean,
You're not a
Untold
chapstick
stuff.
I can
sure.
also use the ketchup from those cheeseburgers to moisten my lips too if I need to. We'll be
All
fine.
right. Well, if it gets uncomfortable up there on the cross, you let us know.
Yeah.
Wow. Jeez, he Pete's. My God. Well, Al, aside from awakening the other morning to a text from you,
I'll tell the people what else I did this week.
Well, we went and saw the Hello Dolly.
yes.
I should send you that picture.
Oh, the one of you standing on stage?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So-
liked it. Okay, I actually, when I first saw it, it reminds me of that picture of Michael Jackson where he's standing on some video. I don't know if it's You Are Not Alone.
You Are Not Alone, yeah. Oh, yeah. I see that.
That's what it reminded me of when I saw it. But then I realized, well, and your complexion is about the same as Michael's was.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm just a shade darker.
Oh, you're darker. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good to know.
So, yeah, Sunday we went to,
Hello, Dolly.
we went to the Gamage, saw the
Theater.
Hello Dolly with Betty Buckley, who's
I wonder.
still in fine form.
I saw somebody posted something about Betty. And I'm like, is it Buckley? All right, good. I didn't know.
Yeah. And she got it done. 71 years old, and even though they do manage to like give her time to go take some deep breaths off stage, there's some really long dance breaks on that show. It's just a good old fashioned musical. Like it would be, I'd been so long since I had heard an overture, I forgot that they existed. So to get a beautiful overture and then an entr'acte, and then there was the bows. And then we got Played Out, which I can't even remember what that's called anymore. It's been so long since I heard it.
Oh.
Like
Oh yeah.
the afterture. I'm not sure. I can't remember what the word is for that.
Here is the picture Al just sent me of him on. How did you pull this off? What is this?
So then Mark Martinez made a friend this week, or got reacquainted with a
how we're
friend
gonna say that.
from before. I would say old friend, but that would be misleading. And
A friend from days prior.
just minutes prior. So he was kind enough. We met him outside the stage door, and he was nice enough to take the six of us on a backstage tour of the Gamage. Which
and you had never done that before? You'd never seen that?
I had years and years ago, and then of course I went to school at ASU in the '80s and took theater.
Oh,
So I had actually done a couple things in that thing, mostly in front of like the teacher and like fellow students.
Like 17 people on the first row.
Right. But it is one of those things that, and I even asked him, I'm like,
16
wait,
judgy queens on
yeah,
the first show.
exactly. God damn it. Hey,
It's
Jenny.
every pageant you've ever been to.
Yeah.
Well,
So the funny thing was, I just said, because from doing, theater when I was younger, that like there's just houses that you look at and you're like, I can't play to that. Like they can't see my face. They can't see a facial expression. Like
Right.
they're just out. So I just said to him, I'm like, do people just come on the stage and be like, yeah, I can't play to you? And he was like, oh yeah. He's like, they're gone. Because it's too far away. They're not going to get, you'd have to play everything like Carol Channing to sell
Bigger,
those,
better.
yeah, those kind of expressions. So that was a lot of fun. And then we went for some wine and conversation at the La Boca, and that was very nice. And everybody played well together. There were worries.
Oh, worries. There was worries.
There was worries.
Oh my
we don't
God.
know.
As we've talked about, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Right.
So, yeah.
And it
I have
wasn't
to-
mine either. Everybody,
My interactions have to be managed.
Everybody put your big boy pants on and
Nice.
just deal with it.
Just suck it up and be pleasant.
Uh-huh.
But it was very nice. And like I said, it's just such a fun show, and it's catchy song after catchy song, and it's Jerry Herman. So if he likes a song, get ready to hear it 3 or 4 times, because he's just gonna keep.
Well, and he wrote it 4 times.
Yeah.
Called it different things and just wrote the song 4
Yeah,
times.
I realizing as we sat there, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. We need a little Christmas that I can't get out of my head.
Right, yeah, and you just go to all the shit, like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this sounds like We Are What We Are from La Caja Falls. It takes a woman, we are. And it was just the staccato, like we're
Yeah.
gonna whisper it, and just it was just very strange how much like, oh yeah, he does like his
They
one
all
song.
sound the same. Yeah.
Just change the words.
But the dancing
Do it
was
live.
incredible. They really did try to stay true to the Gower Champion original choreography, and they did like the full dance of the waiters. And I had seen the Orpheum here when it reopened, when it was refurbished and opened in like 97.
Right.
The first show was Hello Dolly
Right.
with Carol Channing, and she's 97, so she was like 76. 75, 76. And she had some trouble with it. You know, you could tell that they were kind of like
Helping her along.
Propping
helping
up
her
a little bit.
along. And they didn't do. There was some of the show that had like way more dancing than I was expecting. Like even
Okay.
I was kind of surprised by like, oh, we're just gonna like just full on orchestrate this part.
Yeah.
But it was lovely, and the orchestra was lovely, and the song like put on your Sunday clothes and dancing, and before the parade passes by. I mean, just stirring anthems.
It really is.
And they put in the for some reason, I guess to make David Hyde Pierce feel better about the fact that he was accepting such a kind of a nothing part. They added that I put a penny,
that
in,
penny
my
in my pocket number.
but they put it right in the dump. You're still in the toilet zone
Right.
of the
That
opening
is a
song
really
of the
good place
second
to
act.
put that. Yeah.
Yeah, because the song is just pointless and just does it just
Yeah.
it drags that show like 5 minutes out that it doesn't need.
Yeah.
That was one that like
So of course they trucked that one to the Tony Awards.
yeah, that was just I think she just didn't want to just didn't want to perform.
I think it was a staging thing. I think it had to do with the staircase because I think everybody wanted them to do the staircase number,
Yeah.
and it was actually like a prop issue that they weren't gonna.
Oh, but they
weren't
did the
gonna
thrust.
truck all that
They
shit
have to
across
make
the
the
street.
little whatever you call it, the thrust or the ramp along the front. Like they have to have that part. So she has a little runway to walk up and down and
Yeah.
play with. But it results in a
like that catwalk.
71-year-old.
You're used to
I mean,
seeing it
she
at
got
Radio
her
City
steps
Music Hall.
in,
No.
and she's got to do a little cakewalk. She's got a little
She
do
does
a
some
little
little
dance
kicks and a little tap
yeah.
dancing and
But it was
kick,
charming.
turn.
And
She
then-
closed the rings on her Apple Watch that day. She's all good, I'm
Oh,
sure.
she's all heart healthy. And then today we moved. We closed. Well, we tried to close
the
down, but
hospital.
there was a few people still too sick to move over for that kind of transport. But we moved like the bulk of the patients over to the new
wow.
tower, and it took. Oh my God, it was exhausting. We got there at 6:30 to plan our attack and started, and donuts and pizza and just bad food later, and my
Yeah.
feet are fucking killing me. I went to bed really early to make sure because I was like, okay, I got to take all the sleeping pills. So I took them at like 7 o'clock
oh wow.
so that it would kick in for sure by 9 and I could be up by 5. Well, I ended up being up by 3 because I
Okay.
fell asleep at like 7:45 due to the dosage of the sleeping pills that I enjoyed.
Turns out when you try and tranquilize a horse.
So that was a
It
long day. And
works.
then Saturday night went out and with a coworker that I just enjoy, and we had been talking on one of the Insta books or some shit, and just decided that, oh my God, we both have Saturday and Sunday off. Like that never happens. Did we want to get together for drinks? So I met Leo and his boyfriend Brandon at the Charlie's, and we had a nice time, and it was just fun. And I was standing inside waiting for them. They walked by, but I was on my phone and didn't feel like getting that involved in finding them. So I was like, oh, I'll catch up with them in a second. And I didn't realize that outside in the rain, in between thunder showers,
They
there
were
was a
doing-
drag show.
yes.
And I'm like, I don't even believe in day drag, let alone nighttime rain,
Rain
drag.
drag.
Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, they've committed to that fucking thing, and they're just going to run through it.
But it was very funny, and it was a really nice night. We just hi Nero. We had a lovely lot of laughs, good conversations. A few people that we all knew, some people I really didn't need to see, and like you do when you're out there everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Sure.
And then I walked. I had to Uber there because it was raining, and it slowed down to like this misty weather that we seem to have once a week now. The same as New Year's Eve when I was wandering the city getting bitten by dogs. And this time it was just the right combination of.
Stop letting the dogs bite you.
I know it's not my
Who let the
fault.
dogs
Perkins.
out? I mean, that's really the question.
I can give you his name.
That's never the question. Wait, everybody stop everything. That is never the question. Write this down.
Never.
No,
That who let the dogs out is
Yeah.
never the question.
stop.
Write it down.
Collaborate and listen.
So
I can do that one.
I was just right amount of like happy, drunk, getting misted that I was telling myself jokes the whole way home.
Yeah.
And at one point made myself laugh so hard. I was in front of someone's house, like doubled over, just delighted.
Do you remember what the joke was?
Funny you should ask. So,
He told Siri, of course he knows what the joke
yeah,
was.
and I'm like saying them into Siri. I'm like, Siri,
I have a
I
joke
call
for you.
Salem. I don't want to tell them how to conduct their trials, but I don't think they finished. I'm still alive in the rain. I may be a witch. I don't know. That was stupid. But then there was somebody following, and then the thoughtful
That was the
vulgarity
highlight.
question. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the thoughtful
Doug
vulgarity
Wilkie,
question.
ladies and
Douglas
gentlemen.
Marie.
The thoughtful vulgarity question came to me, which was like the whole point of the walk. And then as I was going down 11th Avenue, deciding on whether or not I was going to knock on Jason Carlton's window, and then was like, that's probably rude. Somebody
Come
was
to
behind me.
my
Somebody came like through the rental car parking lot and started walking behind me. And I was talking into the phone, like trying to phrase the thoughtful vulgarity question and like laughing about my questions for the Salem witch trial that I had like listed out. And all the things that they forgot to do to me. And all the tests they forgot.
Was I supposed to float? Was I supposed to burn?
Exactly.
What do you wear to a burning?
Yeah. So the guy's like walking quick behind me. So I was like, okay, this is creepy. And I'm at least going to meet my murderer head on. So I turned around and I'm sitting and I'm still talking into my phone like an asshole. And I'm like looking at him and I'm like, oh, he's kind of cute. Maybe I'll say something. And then he got up close and he was like this like snaggletooth homeless creature. And I just was like, hey, Siri, a boy like that will kill your brother. Remind me. That's what I said. Hey, Siri, remind me. A boy like that will kill your brother. I was finished.
Wow.
It's still only funny to
Wow.
you.
You're reenacting West Side Story
Yeah.
on 11th Avenue in downtown Phoenix.
It just struck me as so funny is with that only the gayest person alive would put that as a reminder. I don't even have a brother.
True. You don't. Now, when did you ask Siri to remind you of this? Did you tell her when to remind you?
Yeah, for the show.
Okay, got
yeah.
it. Well, I don't know if you had stated to remind you at a certain point, geographic location.
No.
Upcoming in the next like 3 years are random Siri reminders
Yeah, but
from
it
that
was-
walk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You watch.
Oh, but it was just giggly fun.
It's probably gonna be a geolocation. So next time he rides his bike by there, all of a sudden his phone's just gonna go, "A boy I like will kill you."
A boy like that will kill your brother. Forget that boy, go find
Find
another.
another.
Stick to your own guy.
Is this in honor of Donald
Yes.
Trump?
Would you
Yes.
like one?
I love that.
We
You
are.
might want to nuke
Yes,
it a
I
little
would
bit. It's
because
been a
I'm
minute.
starving.
Yeah, we had.
Listen.
Had
It's always my
Fred burgers or
Hamburgers are for winners,
and I made
and
fresh.
we are winners.
And I made fresh kofavi, so we've got that.
Good. I always suffer from when I come from school to here. I haven't eaten since
Yeah.
earlier in the
Well,
day.
you're
I
welcome
get
to-
like this
you're
by
welcome
the
to
end
have
of
that.
if you're wondering.
Yeah, we're only on a partial shutdown here at the Q Talk
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, 75%.
Yeah. Yeah, fortunately, it has no impact on payroll, so we're fine.
So that was
Yes.
my week. Having to
Well, that
drunk,
was
having to.
exciting.
It really was a funny night, and it was just the right combination of everything. And that this new misty weather that we have here in beautiful
Yeah, I'm not-
London / Portland /
Crazy, right?
Our
What
London
the
fog
I
town.
have had enough.
I have two. It's so weird in Arizona. Like you have one day, maybe two great days. You're like, come on, and now we're just there every week. We have.
I feel
great
like it's
days.
been like 3 I don't think we've seen sun
It's
in
annoying.
weeks.
No, I feel like the same way. It's just
Although it was briefly nice for our walk
you turn
from
me down a
Gamage.
little
Oh, it
bit?
was nice.
we have to get to our audio controller.
Yeah,
Wow.
our brief
Marnie's
walk from
down.
Gamage to
Are we about-
um,
Is
tell
that
me.
better? Yeah.
All right, there you go.
yeah.
I've even got your notch memorized. I know how loud you
Wow,
are.
I know
yeah.
where your
Thank you,
notch
Cat
is.
Oh my
Carlson.
gosh, not just
I
memorized.
feel like VIP all of a sudden.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, Doug, on short
I'm
notice.
thrilled to be here.
On short notice.
You know, now on Tuesdays, I kind of between
Oh,
lectures,
God.
I look, I'm like, and
Oh,
I
no,
saw.
that's fair.
I'm like, I think that's going to be Clayton.
That's completely fair.
And before I forget, I want to tell you, Kat Carlson,
Tell me.
you weren't here. I subbed for you, but
Thank
I
you.
recruited Erin Callanan, and she joined us,
Did she?
and
Good.
it was hysterical.
I bet.
Because Jen was like, "Wait, Erin?" She thought it was Marnie's Erin, and you know,
Oh, I
it
thought
was a
Ernie.
whole thing.
No, that's a whole other person.
then-
It's Ernie.
Yeah, and that's
Right.
what we said. We're like, well,
But
she
Jen-
would never log in as
No,
Aaron.
no, no,
You're gonna
no.
love this, but Jen didn't know that. So Jen's like, "Wait, I'm confused." And she's like, Doug's. I said, she's like, Doug's Aaron or Marnie's Aaron? And I'm like, no, my Aaron. And so Aaron changed her name to Aaron fucking Callanan.
We knew who she was.
Yeah.
We did after that. It was real
We
clear
did.
who she was.
Very
Yeah.
clear.
She's a real.
So we'll see if
She's a little whip that one. She's a pistol that
she
one.
is a pistol. Okay.
I was looking for the old timey expression. It took me a minute to get there. She's a pistol that one.
In new reports, she's an old timey. She's a pistol. Critics are saying.
No.
The old timey phrases. I was Googling trying to find out what the opposite or what you call it when the orchestra plays the audience out, and I can't seem to come up with that.
It's usually the curtain or exit. Let me see.
The
if it's on
outro, the epilogue.
I was trying to-
books.
So I mean, what's the opposite of overture? It says finale, but that's not what we're looking for. Anyway, but if you know, please send all of your write your answer on a $5 bill and mail it to me. It works out well. My gosh.
See if I can get there with parts of a symphony, because they would do that in a symphony too.
Oh,
I know.
look at you figuring out shit.
Why do you think I'm the head Googler? Because I know how to look for shit.
I don't know. Nobody else wanted to do it. I'm not sure why you're the head Googler, but
Thanks for taking away all my prestige.
you have to show up. Have to
I'm
show up.
like,
Here I am. God damn it.
By the way,
You missed 14 weeks. And suddenly people are
by the way,
upset.
Doug, we
Yes.
had Kat had an observation a little earlier
Yes.
that we'd like to talk to you about.
Sure.
When you fill in
Yeah.
around the horn of the table here,
Yes.
it seems as though that you take on
Oh no.
various characteristics of whoever you're filling in for.
Very
Oh my God, you're like
interesting.
Rogue in X-Men.
So,
That's crazy.
So
wow.
she was
That's
Like
a
take
good
on our
observation.
powers.
So I said, well, when he fills in with Al, does he talk more? And we really weren't sure about that one. But
It's a long,
like
ongoing debate who talks more,
so
Al or I.
tonight, filling in for Marnie,
chicken
Yeah.
of the egg.
Tardy.
Tardy.
I
I
mean,
was tardy.
so
exactly.
Yeah.
And
That's
then,
right.
But I don't know that he Googled and looked up stuff more last
I
week,
didn't.
being you.
I didn't.
Okay.
You
And
know,
that's where
my
he
powers are
disappoints.
next level. not
Oh,
I hope I
right.
sounded as smart as Kat does.
Oh my God.
not all
I don't know.
mutants
I don't remember.
can-
I didn't listen to the show.
So I would ask then, since you're always here and I
Yeah.
don't sub for you, do you have that same observation?
No.
Okay.
No, I do not.
All right.
She's the only one who brought it up, and I'm like, where
Yeah.
do you get that from? No, I don't get that at all.
That could be real
I think you're-
subconscious thing. It could be.
I just think you're batshit crazy
That's
in any chair.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's the closest. That's the closest evaluation. Just crazy.
Doug's always the same, no matter what chair he's in.
That's true. I don't know.
chair is
I
just a
like. I'll
chair.
give that some thought though. To see. Now it's in my head, so then
Well,
I'm gonna
yeah,
think I'm gonna have
great.
to.
I'm driving
I
crazy.
know.
I
I
gotta
tried it
find
when-
a way to fit that in
When
back
you're
in the
not here,
Hello
I
Dolly.
try to do entertainment, and sometimes it goes better than other times.
Same with
Sometimes
him.
it's
Yeah,
just-
the
same
one
times
night,
it's
though-
just too much.
Kat and I, we were able to do entertainment pretty well. We had
I'm a
we
really
did a
good
good
Googler.
job. Yeah, she Googled us right out of difficulty. But
Well, I've got an abridged version today, so we don't have to go 9 hours in entertainment.
No. Well,
Luckily, we didn't take 2 weeks off during the High Holy season again.
we
Right.
realize that
Ugh,
it's
that
award
was
season,
rough.
so there's a lot coming up between now and when is the Oscars? What day?
February 24th.
Oh my
so
God!
have
we're a
you
month
gotten
away.
your professional thing resolved? What
Nope,
is up
I
with
was
that?
hoping. I was hoping I would find out today, but I did not.
Because there is.
Are you jumping topics on us, Doug? What
Oh, I'm
happened?
sorry.
No, but with the
I'm
with
sorry.
the
Oh,
Oscars,
segue.
I have a possible
Oh,
No, this
conflict.
is epically bad. He may not be.
I may not be
here.
in town, which I've been out of town before.
So we've had a standing date for 50 years for this, and now we're not.
wow.
So I don't even know what I'm gonna do if
Wow.
that happens.
We've
Wow.
missed a couple. We missed
there
one.
was
You were
like
in
two.
Germany, you
I
were
would-
in New York or Germany for one.
One we just missed. I don't know if it was work. I like the Shirley MacLaine. I can remember whatever one. I just like watched it by myself at home. Oh, the cancer got in the way. When
It'll
I was
do that.
recovering.
Oh, when I was in New York,
The
that same
longest Oscar telecast of all time, and so and Alan were like messaging was when Halle Berry won.
Year. Oh, I was.
So the longest night, the longest speech. By the end, I was like, I'm ready
Who
to go back to
gives
a
a
cancer hospital
shit?
before.
And I was-
I didn't. That's the first Oscar. I'm like, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go to bed.
I was back in New York, so
For an
watching that.
oncology department,
Yeah, I know.
please.
It's
Thank
the
you.
Kids City of Hope, where it's a ding, ding, ding.
Watching that on New York time where they didn't start till 8 o'clock, I'm like, it is after midnight, people. This shit's gotta end.
It was horrible.
And I didn't have well, I don't think there were DVRs then, so that one, like,
There was barely television out.
oh my god,
it was
And
a black and white broadcast.
and my friend that came over in Niagara Falls was like, can you make this any more fun? I'm like, I really can't. I'm out of ideas. And
Can you make it any more fun?
yeah, and then
that's
because I
funny.
watched one in New York City, and then we watched
Yeah.
Aaron Brockovich here in San Diego in a hotel.
We did, and then the infamous year at BS West.
Oh, yep, we won all the trips.
The first time we won all the trips, but we decided we will never watch them in public again because stupid people talk. So
and we had a roped
we
off
need to
area.
control the guest list.
That was a fun year because it was raising money for some children's camp.
It was.
So you bought your ballots, and everybody bought a ballot, and then whoever and of all the people that played, the first prize was a trip to Acapulco, and the second prize was a trip to was it Vegas? Yeah.
Yes, Acapulco and Vegas.
So we decided that since it was a trip for two, that whichever one of us won,
We'd take the other
we
one.
would take the other one, and we thought that was fair.
Sure.
We came in first and
We
second.
got first and second, so we got both.
trips. And everybody was like, "It's rigged." I'm like, "We paid our money." He was like, "You bitches."
It's not rigged.
It's not
we
my
know.
fair that we
You're
work
messing
here.
with the wrong
and
two on this
that's
one.
the year that we won because of Shakespeare in Love.
Right.
Oh.
Because I was one of the few people in the audience. I think it was the only one that picked Shakespeare in Love as for Best Picture.
Or maybe had seen it in that audience.
Yeah, and you got
Yeah.
yours was a supporting actor. Like we made the surprise on two different ballots, but it
Yeah.
was what put us ahead of the pack. And we even helped people with the lesser categories. We even gave them
The
clues.
lesser cat, the smaller people.
We
the
helped.
little people.
We were kind.
So what did you do this week? And then we're all caught up and up to time.
Oh, me. What did I do? It's second week of school, so now I'm all overwhelmed of like having to prep for classes, and so I'm back in school head. So it's nice to be here because there's just a lot of work. I mean, it feels good to be back though. You know, you forget it's like good to have a routine.
Yeah.
And I complain about it, but really, it's actually good to be there and meeting the new students and seeing the ones I like and the ones I already don't like. So hopefully they're not listening tonight. But I think I might have to be careful if I talk about ASU on this show in case someone
You
ever
can call it
listens to
a restaurant.
Oh yeah, I remember
Or-
you had to do that, huh?
NAU.
Oh. That's perfect.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you, Clayton.
You're
You solve
welcome.
problems, and I like
yeah.
that.
Or GCU. I mean,
Yeah.
pick
Oh
any-
my God, that would be funny.
Oh yeah,
GCU.
because you know they're listening to this show.
And
Yeah,
Do you know that
long-time listeners.
I guest speak there 2 times a year. A former colleague of mine at
You
Sage,
used to.
who I yeah, not anymore.
that died quick.
Not and
Like our free trip to China.
I give a presentation to them about domestic violence twice a year for my colleague that she is the head of the counseling department there, and it's really nice. But it is really interesting every time I go. It's kind of a little bit Twilight Zone-y when I go and get in, because when they say Christian, they mean it. So it's very, someone. And one time she
Wait,
said
NAU or Grand Canyon?
GCU, Grand Canyon
Oh,
is
okay.
Christian,
Yeah.
and so
I thought he
is
was talking
one-
about NAU.
no,
I got
I'm
lost.
sorry. We jumped to GCU.
Cross
So
yeah,
Okay.
We
in
stopped
fact,
listening for a minute and they changed school.
didn't it? Yes,
Great.
we moved on.
Changed their major.
But and they're very good. They're very well behaved. It's nothing about
They better be,
presenting
God
there that
damn
is
it.
at
They don't
all.
crucify people. on
It's
campus
a
anymore.
very nice audience. They're very, that's great. But the thing that Denise, my former colleague, and she said, well, sometimes we start. Not every teacher has to do it, but it's up to them. But she said sometimes we start the class with a prayer. I was like,
Please don't hit me.
well, it was nice that she asked. She's like, and I said, honestly, you do whatever the hell you want. I'm like, but I said, I'll just wait, and then I don't want to do that. So if you do that, I'll wait, and then I'll come in. And she was like, I don't really want to do it either. So she was like, fine, because sometimes the students ask if they can or whatever. So anyway, that's my GCU experience.
Uh-oh.
So in an epic feat of googling options
no.
for when they play you out, what that's called, it's got to be either the encore, the finale encore,
Yeah.
or it could be. I guess you could consider it the coda, which is
The coda makes the most
The
sense.
coda
The
makes
tail
the
end.
most sense because
The
it's just the
coda-
tail of the
Because
of
the
piece.
bows are their own music, and that's
Right.
usually when you look at the score of a show, you'll just see bows.
Right.
But they did that, and then they played us out again. And there's only a few
Right.
shows that do that. What's
Bum,
Come From Away did it, where the
Oh,
band.
did they? Oh,
yeah,
good.
Come From Away did that. So did the Old Man in the Moon. Like they play you out. They
Sure.
just start playing.
Fun.
Once, what was the show in the Irish movie?
Oh, once I love that.
Yeah, the stage
Love
play of
that.
that.
Okay.
they play you out, but it's not like they're just like riffing and having fun.
Amina, you asked the question: career change or continuing education?
I don't know if that's for Nero or for me. Amina asked who went back to school later in life, and Nero and I both did.
And
no.
I did.
Oh, Al, that's of course. You're a great example.
And Doug is going back to school to give speeches about domestic
to
violence.
teach people.
He's not going back to school for any other reason.
Amina,
to my knowledge.
it was when you say continuing education, it was I would say a return. So I had a bachelor's degree in justice studies, then didn't do that for 13 years, and then went back to go back to that. So if that helps, but I'm a big proponent of education for people later in life. Al, others, I did it that way. I'm
Tim.
what's called an unconventional or unorthodox student. I didn't get my first degree at the right time, so I went to grad school with people in their 50s. I see, and so I'm a big it's never too late.
I
Go to
feel
school.
like I retain when I learn something now. I feel like it's there much more. Now, granted,
Yes.
I realize I learned a lot.
You're
when I was
probably
younger,
more mature.
But I'm because you pay attention.
Yes,
more.
you do.
And you when you're older.
Yeah,
and-
because I just
and
stared
like
at 30
we-
people who weren't paying
Like
attention.
we learned from Kat Carlson earlier. When you get
Yeah.
older, you don't give a fuck.
Well-
So you then
That's I don't know if you know my mantra for the year.
you then
For the year, what
the
is
year.
it?
I'm 40 and I don't give a fuck.
right.
Oh wow, I didn't know you were 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
You're
turn.
welcome. Just it's new.
But
But
it's the best birthday for me.
when you decide to get educated later in life about
Yeah.
something, typically it's something you have an interest in and you've chosen. Therefore,
Exactly.
You're not being bombarded by crap. That
You know what else?
Because
You-
I don't really use a lot of trigonometry.
Yeah,
I really don't.
No, algebra. Another day didn't use it.
But if something's half off, you just use
But,
algebra. I say that all the time.
you know-
You use
I
algebra
say-
more than you think.
No,
But
you
you
do.
did.
You know,
Did
because
you-
you know
did you
what?
write a
And
tip?
actually, I'm just kidding.
You
It is
did.
important.
Or
You
the
know,
metric
it teaches
system.
you to think
Yeah.
and to process.
Plus, to
So
tip,
you know. No.
you can't tip without algebra
Did you
either.
count to 10 today? You used the metric system.
But Clayton, you're onto something, and I think people also take it's something you're interested in. People take it more seriously.
Certainly.
It's often their money now and not financial
Parents'
aid or
money.
parents' money.
Or just public funds.
My favorite students are and I have my contingent of like social work people or whatever that have, and I teach 2 night classes this time around. So I'm meeting a different kind of cohort. They work 9 to 5 or something close to that approximation. And they're older. I have a mom. This is a cool story from last year. She's 38 years old, 4 kids, and she was a hairstylist and did hair for like,
banged
20
hair.
years, banged hair for 20 years. And you know what she said? I always wanted to go into, and she's a social work major, but they can take the criminal justice classes as electives. And she said, I always wanted to be a social worker. And I told her, I'm like, well, doing hair, you kind of were one along the
Yeah.
way, because that really is
Well,
like
right.
having a session with some bartenders.
Certainly.
And it's the same thing. And and I just really admire her a lot. And I got to tell you, she was a very good student because she really cared. She was mature. The other ones are like, where's the party? They're texting,
Yeah.
And she's studying and getting straight A's.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan, and I always encourage people to
Yeah.
do that.
I mean, I was I wasn't the partier that I had been, and you got like anything else. If you're gonna do it, then you got to settle in, and you got to do
And you
it.
just have to make
yeah,
the commitment.
and you just have to. Unfortunately, you have to get rid of a lot of shit in life and really not
Yeah.
give a fuck about
it's,
a lot
it's
of stuff.
not pretty while
Yeah.
it's happening, but
it's not
There's
at
a
all.
lot of things that aren't
yeah,
pretty well.
exactly.
everything.
Life
It is
is
funny
full
'cause-
of beautiful
Wow.
moments, and this isn't
This
one of
isn't
them.
one of them.
Nobody
yeah.
wants to see the sausage get made.
Well, Harrison just finished school. Now it's
Right.
been like 8 years, but so
Uh-huh.
she finished in her 40s.
Just
Yeah.
finished 8 years ago.
Yep.
Well, I can't believe it was.
We're using
2000
time
Well,
really loosely.
Really?
I can't
But
But we
believe
all
it was-
did. We all did late in life
I can't
degrees.
believe it was 2011. Tim just got his master's last year. Who else? Somebody else that we know that of our age just went back to school. No, I can't think. There's one more person. Oh, Renee
Oh yeah.
went back and got his degree
and
close
from
to 40
Columbia,
from Columbia
and
University.
pulled an
yeah.
Ivy League at 40.
Yeah.
Graduated from Columbia University. Put the hurt on me on that one.
Yeah,
I
did
gotta
his
tell
2
ya.
years at Phoenix
I'm sure
College.
she lied about her age all through school. I know Renee enough.
Probably more. Well, actually, she doesn't have to lie about her weight, skinny bitch.
I know. That's what happens when you don't drink.
Oh, I never.
Someday
forget
Renee
that
will be
part.
available to come and do a show with us. That would be an entertaining
Oh,
evening.
that would be.
Yeah, because he just sneaks in for a day.
Bitch.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him. I feel like it's been 2 or 3 years, maybe longer since I've seen him.
yeah, he really does just sneak in for like
A minute and a half. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is nursing a trade? I don't think of that as a. Isn't that a bachelor's degree?
It can't. There's
Oh.
different degrees. There's
don't know.
like a nursing certificate. There's an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, and a master's degree.
What do
can-
you have?
I have the associate's degree because
Oh,
I'm the
okay.
asshole that went to college for 7 years and has a 2-year degree.
Okay, I got it.
if you take enough theater classes, that's what you get.
That's what you get.
Proud of you.
You're a very dramatic nurse.
Yeah, but that's kind of one of the things that I hate about that degree. Also, is there's no way to do it in 2 years because you have to take like almost 2 years of prereqs and then 2 years of classes to get the RN, but they don't give you a 4-year degree for it.
Yeah.
Even though it requires 4 years of school, it doesn't get you a 4-year degree.
Right.
The way that it's set up in that system. So there's a way to do it, and you have the same job and make the same money. There's no difference in pay between an RN and a BSN. There's no difference, except for you sat through a couple more classes on like groupthink and writing a couple more papers. But the actual nursing part of it, there's no difference in money, job title, what you can do. So it's a very rigged
interesting.
system
Yeah.
towards a cash equivalent, but them getting the cash, you don't get any cash for it. So you force people into a system where they need to go back to school once they've already done 4 years and paid all that money. Then they need to go and spend like another $5,000 or $6,000 for something that doesn't even pay $1 more an hour, and that to me is ridiculous. Like that's a system that's just flawed.
Agreed.
Yeah,
gosh.
just bullshit.
Very busy with that.
So ending on a high note,
Yeah,
what's next?
I think the headlines.
Is it your? Did we find out what you did
No,
this week?
we didn't. We
No,
didn't go
no.
for
I
that.
thought
Because
not.
we started with you.
Yeah.
No, but I
we
thought
often do that.
No, we went boom, boom, boom.
Oh, then
Yeah.
well then
Yeah.
to you.
And mine is
Whose
not.
show is this?
Who fucking knows anymore?
We've gone. Oh, I told what you did. That's right.
No, my normal week of trials and tribulations of life and this that, and the other. But I, you'll understand this. I am assuming somewhat, Mr. Perkins. Well, yesterday my post was, and I have been on this. I went to Cox Communications yesterday.
Oh my gosh, that
and
is
I-
big news.
And I took my cable boxes and my attitude. Well, not really an
Yeah.
attitude.
Big hair.
Drop it off, and I was gonna, I went there and I was cutting the cable and everything's all good.
They talked you out of it, didn't they?
Motherfucking Saul. Now let me tell you.
Oh, no.
Now, but I think I'm not done with this project. I think I'm going back. It's
Just to
interesting.
see Saul again.
It's no, not for that. But he asked me if I had any questions. He said I'd come back. No, but so I get there, and again, you can't live without the interwebs, so you got to keep your internet. We know that.
Like
That's
the
not a deal.
goddamn mafia. Over
Right, that's
there.
fine. And I'm like, I can
Just what I think
I can
about.
stream stuff. I can
Holy
do stuff. I don't
shit.
need it. And all I really need it for, all I really want it for is MSN,
I asked
MSNBC.
you.
Right. No,
Rachel,
right.
I know.
And I didn't respond to you because I
I
didn't want to
know.
do it on Facebook.
Oh,
I want to
okay.
do it live here,
Oh,
organically.
Because I want to talk
Felt
about
really
it.
good.
We're going to do it live.
We're gonna do it live.
God
If you're
damn
gonna
it.
yell, sit back.
Do it
It breaks
live.
people's speakers.
Oh no,
So-
sorry.
And scares cats. So I get
I'm eating your
there.
poor cat.
I get there and I tell him, I'm like, hey, we're gonna end this. I'm gonna stream what I need to. I get it off the app. Blah blah blah. Well, magically, he's standing there typing away on his little computer, and this happens and that happens, and oh wow, that guy, it's less than I thought. And he does more typing, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on here?
Making you a bundle.
No, I was already bundled. Magically, when you take equipment back to them, things change.
Oh gosh, you can get gigabit, and we're gonna for the next 6 months. We're gonna discount you down
all
to
of a
just about
sudden-
nothing.
Wow.
All of a sudden, my bill came down almost $100 a month.
No
Now,
way.
Swear to God.
For 6 months.
However, I got rid of the little mini cable box in my bedroom, $3 a month. I got rid of a couple. Well, I don't know what all. But all of a sudden, I'm in a package. He pined me down on my channels because really, I just want MSNBC. I get the local channels, and I like those some of the music channels, right?
Yeah.
That's
Sound
it.
choice. What could that cost?
So it wound up like my video portion of my cable now comes to like $31 a month, right?
For
I'm like-
now.
But I'm like, no, I went there to cancel this son of a bitch. So I am going to go back with that fucking box, and because all I want is MSNBC,
I know,
and I
me
can
too.
do that through the
I
app.
can't live without it.
Or if you wait and you watch
Through what app? Wait, there's an MSNBC.
MSNBC, yeah,
There's an app
Yeah.
for everything. We learned
And-
that like 10 years ago in a commercial.
and I found out
Because
if
they
you,
want to
I
reach
didn't
the
know
people
that.
that cut the cord, yeah.
and if you want to watch, I could watch Rachel later in blocks because they then let you watch all of the blocks individually on their app for nothing. You don't even have to have a sign-up account for
And
it.
if you don't want to watch it and you just want to listen to her, you just I
can do
that.
I have her podcast.
Right.
So how
how I
does,
get
does
my
it
Meadow.
stream onto the TV? How does that all
Well,
happen?
you can get devices that you can do that to
Yeah, your
stream.
smart TV can have that app.
Because that's
If you
where I
don't,
got confused.
if you
Yeah.
don't have a smart enough TV, you
I
can
watch it on this.
You can do that. You can Apple devices will also transmit it to your Apple TV, and then you can watch it that way. You
Okay.
get Fire Sticks. They have all kinds of
So they're-
things.
His
That's
PC
solvable.
monitor is bigger than 2 televisions in my house.
yeah,
he can
right.
just sit
Well,
at his desk
right.
and
You,
watch
My
it.
PC monitors are
Right.
35-inch screens.
right. So that's
And
perfect.
you have to have that when you're following car chases out of LA.
That's right.
Live car chase.
So
map.
what about like HBO?
I don't know.
You can get it
Like if I would want
Oh,
that.
can get
Apple TV has the app that's
You
built
can,
into it.
you can get
HBO.
HBO a la
TV.
carte. You can
HBO
buy.
can.
Yeah.
was like $14 a
yeah,
month. I think.
exactly.
Same way though, if not Apple way. I don't like
Yeah,
Apple. things.
but you can do like a Fire Stick, and then it will
Okay.
just come directly into
Or
it.
your TV might
Yeah.
actually
Right.
Have
if
it.
you have a smart TV, yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
So
then
you
it's
can-
Pretty
Just
smart.
download the
I'll get
app.
it. I'll get one.
pretty
though.
smart.
Well,
That's
that's
kind of
old.
dumb TV.
Cat, what are you telling me?
Amazon will facilitate any of your pay channels if you wanted to. If you're an Amazon junkie, you can get all of it through Amazon.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
can, you
This
can
is
buy
good news.
Showtime, you can buy HBO, you can buy some other shit, you can buy live TV from Amazon.
What about
A la
ESPN?
carte. Sports is trickier.
Yeah.
Why the
Sports
hell
is
would
trickier.
you?
Sports-
Because of the Grand Slam for the tennis.
But
I'm
sports
addicted. I have to watch every one of them.
is kind of in bed with the cable company.
Right.
Okay, so
if
that's
you
tricky?
Want sports, you
Not on the
usually have
package
to-
I got. There's no sports in it
However,
at all.
there is
Okay.
no shortage of sports bars in the world that will put whatever game you want on for just the price of a
Yeah,
drink.
but
And I-
Super cheap, and
Yeah.
you get to
Here to tell
socialize.
you,
the
Dick's-
problem is the Australian Open is on, but they do 12 hours of coverage. So for the Grand Slam for the tennis, so like I record all of it and then fast forward through the commercials.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I
So
don't
you
want to
have
go to a
fast
bar,
forward.
but
you could go spend 12 hours in a bar.
that's not
and
realistic.
Bad things could not happen.
Wouldn't be the
Yeah.
first time. would
Well,
it?
it certainly
Show me-
wouldn't.
show
Wouldn't
me
be the
lie,
last.
Yeah.
So that,
Yeah.
those are my things that would be the deal
Yeah.
breaker. What about basic cable?
It's
shows,
way too expensive.
like
The
Daily
It's way
Show
too
or-
expensive for shit you don't watch. So the Daily Show you can get for free.
Yeah, every day on,
Yeah.
on the app.
Comedy Central you can get the Daily Show for free, just a little delayed. You won't watch it live, which you don't anyway. You record it.
I do. I record everything.
Yeah.
What else are you watching on basic cable?
Look on basic cable, like South Park or trying to think. Every now and then there's just a show that's
99% of
on.
Comedy
Yeah.
Central you
It
can get for
can
free.
get-
They're
okay.
giving that shit away.
Yeah.
Okay, great. This is great news.
Mhm.
So it's possible.
Yeah.
I did this like 10 years ago or
Scared, yeah.
more. Like,
Oh, there's Aaron, your friend
Wow.
Aaron in the.
on.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, I told her, hi, not Ernie.
Yeah. So anywho, that was a thing. Again, I was like, damn it. When he did that flip of numbers, and all of a sudden I was like, woo, magic. Then I'm like, no, I'm gonna take the box back.
But do you still have a DVR, or do you have it without the DVR?
No, he gave me magical. All of a sudden I've got the same fucking box DVR.
Oh, keep it. You
all
still
that
watch
shit.
stuff. You want to tape your 60 minutes and.
Oh, 60 minutes. That'd be one. And the local news. Not the
CBS
local. The
Sunday morning, 60
NBC
minutes.
nightly
Yeah.
news. I watch. I'm addicted.
But
So,
I did.
how would
pine,
I get that?
I did pine my box back.
I don't think you can replace the way you go. You're,
Then I'm out.
Yeah, get.
I did pine the box back, so now I can only record 2 shows at once as opposed to 6, which costs you $7 a month extra.
Yeah, and I got rid of this. I didn't need that.
Well, because I found out too many things were
No.
recording at the same time,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
and I'm
so I had to up that. But no, we're gonna. It's very frustrating.
strong, confident woman.
God
You
it's
can do
super hard to do. Yeah, no means no, Clayton. Just remember, no
Means no.
it. Hashtag me too at the.
Just
Different.
tell them
Maybe
I'm
don't do
40
that.
and I don't
Different.
give a fuck.
Well, soon I'll be able to say 50.
Oh, and Nan, who watches cable anyway? This is me. This
Me,
conversation is
Nan.
breaking my
No,
heart
no, no.
constantly.
Because Al and all
Cable-
the comments of all the other people, which,
Cable's
by the way,
everything.
there are a multitude of broadcast HDMI antennas you can get and watch apparently a buttload of shit. But Al is the only one who.
Good
There's
for
about-
you.
Good for
question
you with a
mark?
question mark? Yeah.
There's
Al wasn't
about
having-
I also watch
15-ish
PBS.
channels locally that you can get on HD antennas. About 15 channels. You can get your local news channels, your Channel 12, your Channel 5, your Channel, I don't 10,
I'm sure
I
there's
think it
some
is.
fucking Jesus channel in there.
Oh yeah, there's
Oh,
there's a
there's
couple of Jesus
yeah.
channels in there. There's a couple of Spanish channels in there. There's a really fun like classic TV and movies channel that plays some shit that I have never even heard of, but is older than God. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's called Match Game 77.
Yeah.
No.
It's
no.
Brett Summers
It's
and
like
Charles Nelson
old
driving.
movies and westerns and shit that I've never
Yeah.
even like. I even try and look it up. I'm like, what is happening? What?
Yeah.
I can't even find a thing to Google to figure out what in the hell you are. But you were made before God was alive.
Wow.
It's a lot of fun to watch when you're not feeling very good though.
Well,
Yeah, because you don't know what the hell's
You
going to
don't
come
know what's
next.
happening. You don't know if you're gonna fall asleep or not.
And-
What special effect this movie was made before or
Right.
after.
and it might have prompted you to feel better and get out of bed.
Maybe no.
Potentially.
I love myself some junky TV. I just don't take the time to watch it very often.
I see.
Yeah. Put on some old movies that I don't know what the hell is going on, and a little bit of a fever, and I'll stay there all day.
Aaron, thank you, but we have to give credit. That was Kat
Yeah,
Carlson's
she's 40 and
comment.
I don't give
I'm
a
40.
Yeah.
40.
40, and I don't give a
Because
fuck.
Doug is a little higher than 40, by the way.
I'm 41.
Yeah, and a half.
Really? Really?
Yes.
We're going to sell that?
Yes.
Plus 7, carry the 2.
Yeah, I was told there'd be no math.
So
Maybe
you
there's
do
some of that
use
fancy
algebra.
algebra in
Guys,
there.
Yeah, all of a
guys.
sudden everybody knows
We
algebra.
just used algebra. It was
Magical. God damn.
Good job,
Motherfucker.
guys.
I enjoyed that.
All right, let's get to headlines. You're going to tell me I made the show too long.
Al, why did you do that?
I don't know that I've ever said that.
I need a drink.
Well,
We
go
can
get-
blame Doug.
Yeah, you did. You walked right in and walked right into a show, so you might as well get your thing there. I've got a. Oh, we're getting ready to. So just we'll wait for you because we need to.
Sure.
Sure. What the hell? I'm building a bump thing for us to do anyway. Because where's my new ones that I just did? there it is, this one.
So who was the team that what did they win that they
Oh, for the hamburgers.
was it college football?
Hamburgers. I feel like maybe they looked very young, so
Okay.
college or high school.
Because I'm
Somebody.
like, it's not basketball, but college football did just end. But the good thing is they finally went. Because is this the first sports
is this the
team
first
that
sports
actually
team to
didn't
actually
protest?
go? And then what douchebag school are they from? Wait, we got to find this out.
yeah, because I was kind of curious because everybody has fought.
I don't know.
Everybody has fought back to the White House invitations. But
Yeah.
I didn't hear
Yeah,
anything
but
about
like
anybody
college
like
kids wouldn't.
protesting or
All right, hamburger.
what date rape academy are these fellas?
Oh, write that down. That's a good
Wow,
one.
that is, yeah.
All right.
Or is it Liberty University? All the fucking Jesus people.
Oh yeah.
They got them stuck in there.
National champion Clemson Tiger college football team. So wherever Clemson, I'm sorry, not
Clemson. They're Southern. They're I feel like Mississippi. No,
Mississippi.
could be wrong. Could be wrong.
Hang on, we're googling just now. Clemson Tigers football. Clemson Tigers, known traditionally as Clemson University Fighting Tigers, represent Clemson University in the sport of American
That's a
football.
lion. Terribly sorry.
They're in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Their
Georgia.
rival
Oh,
is the
Monmouth.
South Carolina
Monmouth.
Gamecocks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm game for cock.
go Cox.
Go, you cocks, go. The cheerleaders are a little.
Stay away.
Weary.
They're in South Carolina. They're
South
in,
Carolina.
In Clemson, South Carolina.
Did
I knew it was South.
Yeah.
just random. I had heard about it, but I had not seen it until
Oh,
it popped up in my Facebook feed today. Did anybody see or hear the hullabaloo from the Family Guy about where Peter Griffin's at the White House and meets Trump?
I
Oh, no.
just read
It's the
this whole article with how they
best.
got it done.
It's the best 4 minutes ever. It
And a
was
slam
hysterical.
and Bob's Burgers is in there too.
Yep.
They had a slam to Bob's
About the
Burgers.
Oh, I didn't see that.
wins Emmys. Yeah, it was
Oh.
fantastic.
Oh, but the whole thing when Melania's standing on Marine One and she hands Peter Griffin, she hands him a golf club and says, "Kill him, I'll sex you." They fought.
Didn't you also think the first episode was good too?
I didn't watch. All I saw was the
it's
clip.
actually better.
Where Peter
It's
addresses
funnier.
him at the lawn of
It's
the White House.
hysterical.
And
The
they
first
fight through everything.
Go find the first one. It's part one.
I'll have to find that. But wow, it's quite the.
And
film.
so I read an interview with them that said because animation takes so long, they're like a year out.
Oh.
So they had started like writing that show to be animated that far out that they had to like guess what jokes would still stick.
Oh, wow.
And there was some I can't remember what line it is in the episode, but there was something that just was like they're like, wow, we hit this one on the head.
Oh, you're talking about Family Guy?
Yeah.
Oh, the whole Bruce Jenner. that is the craziest thing you will ever see.
Oh no! In this
Oh,
episode.
in this
No, I know.
Trump
Oh, yeah,
episode.
But,
I know.
But I no, it was some. But it was something to do with.
But they were doing a theme about that when they were like original broadcast date. They're like when they called Bruce Jenner 9 years ago.
Oh yeah.
They're like, Bruce Jenner's a woman 9 years ago.
And I can't remember what joke it was that landed that they were like, yeah, we did not
Yes.
expect this turn of events for that joke to like stick. They thought it was going to be one of those ones that like, maybe people still find it funny then. Maybe it'll still be a laugh.
It was funny.
And you brought up an interesting. Family Guy's not it was notorious, but has been known for years. Like their animation is so slow. Like sometimes they just don't have shows for a while because they're like, we're still animating and writing.
He does some. And he does.
There'll be a show when there's a show.
Yeah, and he does so much of the work, and then does so many outside projects that who knows when he's going to come back to voice half the characters and write
I just think it's some of the best
scripts
satire on television.
Oh,
It's just
absolutely.
I
Agreed.
can't. When people are like I didn't like that, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? How
Yeah.
do you not watch Family Guy? So
There was an episode the other day where Stewie and Brian, for somehow Stewie had gotten a hold of a time transport thing, and they kept going into parallel universes at the same time. Oh my God,
Oh, yeah.
the shit that was happening was just hilarious.
Yeah, that's
Crazy stuff.
and the
That
shit
show's
they get
exhausting.
away with.
Oh, yeah.
That in South Park, I'm like, how is that on? And South Park's on basic, but I mean, how is
South
Family
Park-
Guy on?
South Park
regular
took a
TV.
turn. I can't remember who was over. I had a
This-
friend over like a
This
month
year
ago or
it took
so,
a turn.
and we watched 2 episodes, and it wasn't. I mean, it was still very, very funny, but I mean, it was
Well, that's deliberate.
brutal.
You know how that happened? The whole cancel South Park. There was the religious or
The
whoever.
woman that was all
Yeah,
about that.
so
right.
there's
Yeah.
a hashtag called cancel South Park, and after I guess 20 years now of South Park, I just love them for this. They were like, fine. So they just turned it up a notch.
yeah.
And then they run the hashtag. And I told you the thing I still to this day do not know how it got on the air was the priests having sex with the kids and
that's
the
what we
Zamboni of all the cum.
all the cum. Oh,
I
my
was like,
God.
I seriously, and I am no shrinking violet, but I was like, did I just see that? Like,
That's the episode.
how is that on television?
That's the episode that we watched.
I know.
And my friend and I ran. He was like,
They're like daring whoever Comedy Central to cancel them.
"Oh my God, that episode."
Too much of a money pig. They're not going to do that.
And so, and whatever the
But I
second
like that they're
episode was,
doing
we
that
both were
edge,
like,
you know.
I really want to watch something light.
think I'm
Like,
good,
that
right.
that was
Yeah,
brutal.
that rattled me. I was like,
Yeah.
wow. And and it was already bad enough in that last segment, like before the commercial. I'm like, this can't get any worse. It did.
Oh yeah.
It got much more vulgar.
All right. Well, now that Doug's back at the table,
Yeah.
let's see if we can pull
Oh, yeah.
this off.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, don't be. There's no reason to be sorry, Doug. You're here.
This is still a segment? Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is still a segment.
Yes, it is.
Here we go. Our B blocks coming up, and these are the stories we're going to be talking about. Discount scooters and wine.
Kitty Cat Apartments.
Crazy and cool gadgets for 2019.
Mega Coda.
Ugly family fights back.
Is that possible? Oh, it is.
Florida man, here we go, threatens to kill someone with kindness.
He's an asshole.
Brexit might be happening in Florida.
Hey!
And woman's son is ghosting her, literally ghosting her. These stories, amongst other things we're going to talk about coming up. Oh, and you're going to want to listen to this little crossover bump that I built today because season 5 of Schitt's Creek is coming up, and I'm stealing from it already.
Night.
Wait.
Stick 'em up. This is a holdup. Nobody move. But me. Listening to You Talk America.
Educates, syncopates, radio communicates, radio, the sound of year-round pleasure.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the B block, hour 2 of our show. It's Q Talk America. I am Clayton McKee alongside Ket Carlson.
Hey.
Doug Wilkie ran to the kitchen to do something, and Al Perkins is sitting there in your what do you call not what's the your cat? Oh, damn it, your hoodie. But there's a French word. Your chef. I can't think what the word is. Your pashmina.
Oh.
There's your pashmina.
I don't think that's French, but
I thought it was
okay.
French. I know.
I don't think that's right, but okay.
But pashmina is a little jacket, right?
So Jenny,
I think it
Jenny
refers
says
to
it was
the
her.
cereal.
Hello Dolly was her daughter's favorite show so far this year. So
Oh, so good.
Oh, heaven's sakes alive. Well, everybody who's
Your
already
little
going in
hand
the
in
chat
Mr.
room,
Salami.
and before anybody else acts again, Marnie's out for the night, but she let us know well in advance, said that we could recruit the guest villainist, Doug Wilkie. All right, a woman has been banned, and I know everybody, this has been all over the interwebs, and I'm sure a lot of people have already heard of it, but if you haven't, please enjoy
Welcome.
this story. A woman has been banned from a Texas Walmart after she allegedly, no, she did it, rode an electric cart through the parking lot while drinking wine out of a Pringles can.
she my hero.
This is so great.
Cut to Pringles
Oh,
can.
it's- oh,
Can I
wow.
reenact it?
Yeah, no, well, later. According to
When his Pringles are gone.
Times
Put 'em in a
Record
bowl.
News, employees at Walmart called Wichita Falls Police, that's in Texas, Wichita Falls, Texas, the police to ban a woman from the store following the incident. The incident took place Friday morning around 9 a.m.
Had a girl.
Hey,
I
Wichita-
just like her more and more with every detail.
A Wichita Falls Police Department spokesperson named Jeff Hughes told the Times Record News that the suspect had been reportedly riding around the store's parking lot since about 6:30 while drinking. Officers located the
What
woman.
else are you gonna do?
Officers located the woman at a nearby restaurant, and she was notified that she had been barred from the Walmart that she had recently visited.
Am I in the Walmart? Am I in the Walmart? Was I going outside the Walmart?
But what I wonder is the electric cart she's riding, was it Walmart's cart or was
Then
it
they
her
might have an
personal?
issue.
I'll bet it was hers.
Don't know.
My
I
money
feel
says
like it's a
hers.
bring your own
This reminds
scooter
me
kind of place.
of a
That's
previous
a rascal she's
Walmart
got right
story.
there.
Because of course there has to be a previous Walmart story of a woman that was riding around inside.
I
Do you
thought
remember
it
that
was
one?
inside.
That was eating a rotisserie chicken. There, she got it in the food part.
It's not
and
as you
was-
come around with the
yeah.
little thing they can scan at the end
Right.
and
she
throw
was-
the bones down.
She was
Right.
drinking too, and she was on the cart and eating rotisserie chicken and drinking.
I think that's just every day at Walmart.
I think you're correct.
The rotisserie chicken on a scooter.
with a drink.
I
With
think
a
I know
drink.
what we're doing our next Sunday.
We just
No.
flew
Funday.
our way through that one. Yeah.
At Costco,
no.
they give
I'll
you
take Miss
samples
Scarlet
of
with the
things.
scooter and a bottle
Yeah.
of wine.
So they just give you at Costco. They give you samples. That woman said, "No samples. I'm taking the whole chicken." She
Yeah.
just rode around and ate it
She
up.
was just far too hungry for her imitation
Well, and
crab.
the rascal doesn't have the little thingy up front where you run all the kids over either, like the whole basket and everything.
Oh.
Yeah, I bet it was her own personal scooter because that's got a
Right.
tighter turning radius. So in
Yes.
a related story, I'm going to read something that someone very cleverly may or may not have done, and that was tried to drink the wine out of the Pringles can. So
I don't see how this can go wrong.
honest to God, I heard this story and I went, huh, can you drink wine out of a Pringles can? Well, there's a lot to unpack.
Starting with the Pringles.
Starting with the Pringles.
Yeah.
So,
First, you gotta eat a lot.
step
of
number one,
Pringles.
you should definitely dump out the chips, but you don't necessarily need to rinse out the can.
It'll give it
flavor
a salty
enhancers.
flavor.
Well, unfortunately, it's going to smell like Pringles no matter what. A Pringles can would appear to be, first and foremost, a great wine disguise, and a hasty one at best. So, for the first taste test, we tried pouring the wine in the can unrinsed. Though the expected results were to be gross, only the aroma was what really destroyed it. Tasted fine, smelled bad.
Wait a minute. Is
Fair
that
enough.
saying that Pringles smell bad? I don't think Pringles smell bad.
Well, when
Well,
you're
if you're
expecting
expecting
wine,
If it's
And you get
red
a
wine, it
hot
all smells horrible. Too.
Hot with the Pringle.
this right here says, once the wine hit my palate, I was startlingly unoffended. All things considered, of course. In fact,
Startlingly unoffended. That is damning.
Now
with
that's
faint
a bumper
praise.
sticker for you right
Yeah,
there.
there it is.
in fact, though rinsing out the can helped get rid of some of the little powder bits, the scent of Pringles remained strong regardless. You could probably clean the tin further to try and get the smell out, but at that point, you're way overcommitted.
That's another fair point.
Second observation, a Pringles can is actually the perfect size to hold an entire bottle's worth of wine. Just look at it.
Wow.
Yep, intuition tells you that a Pringles
They
can
also
is
make
about the
taller
size of a
ones.
bottle of wine,
It does.
but it really is almost too perfect. Apparently, 750 milliliters of liquid
It's the same as 750 milliliters of chips.
fills the Pringles can with about 2 inches of room at the top, the perfect amount of space you need
That's
for
perfect.
sipping.
Oh. Well, that's delightful.
Somebody's thought this through.
Reuse,
Second-
I like
reduce,
this.
recycle.
Oh my
I've
God,
always said
yes.
it. I've always said it.
And
I'll bet you didn't know
there's
it.
a handy lid too. You can just pop the. Look at that.
What, we're going to get to that.
Oh
Wait.
my God!
Don't skip ahead. Now, the Pringles can is waterproof, and
killing
the
her
top
wood.
will hold in liquid surprisingly well. That's right. So
Phrasing,
far we've
phrasing.
proven that a Pringles can hold wine. But how does it work as a wine transporting device? Well, after leaving my can filled with water for the duration of this writing, parenthetically about an hour, it showed no signs of leaking. Even more miraculous, if you put the plastic top back on, you can turn the tin upside down, even give it some light shaking after you buy
And
dinner,
all
of
is
course,
well.
without much spillage at all. Would I bet my life on it after a few hours of a bumpy ride that you wouldn't end up with red wine stains on your pants? No.
Because I'm thinking the cardboard would get. It's cardboard, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but it's wax coated.
But it's wax coated.
Oh, good. A
Yeah,
waxy coating.
wax coated.
See inside.
Ribbed for her
Yeah.
pleasure. I can see that.
Oh, why you're looking at him?
I'm looking at you both.
No, why we were you? Why are you looking at him? You, never mind. Young man, carry on.
I'm not so used to being misgendered so specifically.
What did I do?
In conclusion, if you,
To its thoughtful and inevitable conclusion.
in conclusion, do I recommend drinking wine out of a Pringles can? Not necessarily.
No.
But in a pinch, you sure can.
I like that
Yeah.
it's a possible go-to option.
You know
A
what?
you could be on a picnic.
In
Listen,
life, you want
right.
options.
Listen,
I like when you went like that.
necessity is the father of invention.
It's
When
absolutely
I do this,
true.
I feel like I'm the gopher in Caddyshack.
Oh, I have a Christmas ornament that does that, believe it or
Oh,
not.
really?
Yeah,
Look
Hallmark
like
made one year, like some
It fits on
commemorative
your
bullshit.
tree?
It's a big tree.
I'm all right. Don't nobody worry about me.
Yeah, so the next time you feel like you want to gargle a little grape juice,
Yeah.
make a
I'm
little
warming up to the
gargle
idea.
and gurgle and pringle and
Exhausted.
You know what?
journey.
You know who needed this information? Did you ever used to watch Cougar Town? We're sorry about the
Yes.
title.
oh no,
With Big Carl and all the
Yes.
things that they used to
No,
do with
it-
bottles of wine.
I always should have,
I-
but did not.
Oh, if you get
That
a
was
chance.
made for them.
Yeah. Once they
Yeah.
get rid of the original premise of her being a cougar, which lasts for like 6 episodes, and then it just goes into it turns into Friends with older people
Oh, fun.
that drink a lot.
That's a good show.
And all they do is drink
They
bottles
just-
of wine at
that's
a
all-
time. It's
that's
all it's about.
They
do.
could have put them in Pringles
And they
cans.
play a really funny game called Penny Can that just cracked me up.
All right,
Huh?
I'm in.
It was made the stupidest character made up a game, and all you do is throw pennies at a can, and when you get it in, you yell penny can, and that's the whole game. But for some reason, it was a plot device on like half the episodes.
That's
And it was just the
Awesome.
silliest show about people being drunk, and it was all told out of order. So one scene, she's sitting there with Big Carl, which was her. It was a vase from
Right. I remember this.
from Crate and Barrel that held 2.5 bottles of wine, and she would drink out of this vase.
I remember
out
seeing
of the
that.
Big Carl.
Big
And then the next scene, she'd be at the grocery store with different people. And then she would be like with someone else. And there was no way, because then they would be like, oh, and now this is happening over here. And they'd have a conversation like, you can't be in all these places, but it just didn't matter. It was just delightful.
all right.
It's goofy, stupid. You can fall asleep at any point and not miss a plot point.
See, and that's the kind of show I need in my life
Yeah,
sometimes,
it's
because every
perfect.
once in a while I need a nap.
Yeah, I don't know who's high.
It knows exactly what it is. It's not trying to be anything,
else. Yeah. Because they gave up all pretenses, like I said, like 6 episodes in.
Yeah. Speaking of giving up, Doug, you got a story?
Yeah. Hello, future. You're weird. So this is all happening. In 2019. You would think this would be farther into the future. It says it's where companies big and small come to launch gadgets at their new test ideas at CES 2019.
Yeah.
Not all of them make it to stores, but there's an eternal optimism that technology can solve, well, almost any problem, even ones you never knew you had. There are suitcases that push themselves and automatic toilets for dogs. The big news this year is that artificial intelligence is working its way into all sorts of places, from your bedroom to the concierge desk. Amazon's Alexa is battling with Google Assistant to control our fans, faucets, clocks, you name it. Alexa is winning the race for more gadgets, though Google seems smarter. Just ask it to be your interpreter. Amazon founder and chief executive Jeffrey Bezos owns the Washington
And newly minted Bachelor.
The Washington
Exactly.
Post.
$137 billion divorce. TVs are entering a new phase. Just when getting used to Ultra HD 4K televisions, the industry is gearing up to start pushing a still extremely pricey upgrade to 8K sets. I didn't even know that was possible.
Wow.
And talk about weird. Samsung and Apple became official frenemies by including an app for iTunes on Samsung's newest TVs.
I don't know how
some of this.
How they 4K. It's so realistic.
I know.
How
You're
much
just
more,
hiring people to walk around
Right.
your house.
Yeah,
They stand
that's
in
what
the
they
wall.
said. They're
Cars.
saying the 8K is like that. It's like there's no pixels anymore. It's
Wait,
bizarre.
so we're very slowly getting back to how the Flintstones watched TV?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
I love it.
We've come full
I
circle.
love it.
So this is 2019's must-have television for billionaires and wannabes. With the tap of a button, LG's 65-inch TV dramatically rises from a long box where it is rolled up.
I saw this one,
inside.
the OLED.
Yeah.
Ugh,
That's
crazy.
that's going to
Wow.
be fantastic.
How did they do that? The screen uses plastic and OLED. I don't know what that is. Which is in addition to having fantastic image
It's this
quality.
kind of
It's
screen.
organic
Is-
light emitting diodes.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! Thank God she's here.
Thank God Tech Corner is going to be coming up next on Q Talk America.
I had the
Does that
whole-
follow- does that follow
this show?
Yes,
I
it
had the
does.
whole talk about it with the.
Which, in addition to having fantastic image quality, is capable of bending. Coming this year, we'll also be getting smartphones with foldable OLED screens, or OLED.
LED.
The idea is that you can place your TV in front of a window without having it block the view all the time, because life is hard. But with
Listen.
suffering.
just a tragedy.
You gotta get your feng
Yeah.
shui.
But it does come in with decorating with these apartments now that don't
Yeah.
give you
That's
enough
what they're
white
saying.
space for
Yeah.
a TV.
That's there
Especially
we
when
go.
you have to have a 95-inch television
Yeah.
instead of a
But
24-inch
this one is
little
saying-
box in the corner.
But
like,
with a TV like this, who wants to be inconspicuous? Go ahead and show it off. LG says it can withstand being rolled up for at least 50,000 cycles. The suitcase that follows you like a puppy has been long-running CES fantasy. This one, from a company called ForwardX, looks the closest to actually delivering. Cameras all over it identify you as opposed to someone else passing by, and then lock and follow you at up to 6 miles an hour, avoiding obstacles along the way. This, Clayton, this is especially for you in parentheses. It says the company has also put the same tech into a lawnmower.
Oh,
Got your attention.
You start talking vacuums, and we're gonna.
yeah.
When
Ooh,
I
we're
tried,
gonna have to hose him
that'll
down.
absolutely happen. When I tried it, the suitcase kept up about 75% of the time, even when I spun around in circles.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You can wear a companion wristband that vibrates if your suitcase strays too far. Now we can get one. Now can we get one that also unpacks itself? It'll be $800, available on Amazon later this year. Okay, this kind of goes on. It's kind of long, so I'm going to skip some of the things that might not be.
Add it on
Yeah.
the-
Some of the stuff.
Japanese inventors, that's always good. Al, they really want robot pets to become a thing. So first there's the Sony's Aibo the dog,
Oh, can't wait.
the latest from a firm called GrooveX.
big lover of pets, I know you are.
I love
Yeah,
this.
Yeah.
he is.
I
Real
love
or
this.
imagined.
You've been dying for imaginary pets because you're just
The la-
overwhelmed with real ones.
Yeah.
The latest from a firm called GrooveX is like a cat from the future. It doesn't do anything.
Oh, good, like a pet rock.
Right. But its
seems
sophisticated
about up your
technology
alley.
makes you feel you need to pick it up and cuddle, particularly when it flips little cloth-covered arms. Or flaps its arms. Some 50 sensors and cameras, many in a horn on top of its head, recognize faces and the heat of humans and other organic pets. Sold in sets of 2, they'll play with each other and also compete for your attention. Before you adopt one, though, no lovots really do demand a lot of attention. Half an hour with 2 of them bopping around and begging to be loved left me a little batty.
They used to call those Furbies.
Furby, that's, oh my gosh, Furby.
Yep.
$3,000 for 2.
What the fuck?
I know. And then Ring, is that what you have, Clayton? Ring?
No, but
Similar.
I have a similar.
Okay,
to
they're
Ring.
going to make Ring now for, they found a new place to stick one of its tiny cameras.
Hey, hey, been waiting for that.
Yep.
Your door
And
viewer.
that's your first colonoscopy.
Exactly. Ring proctology.
Yeah.
So that
What
you
a
can,
time saver. Answers
So-
my door and tells me what's up my
We
ass.
got your at-home DNA. We got your at-home scoping, both uppers
Yeah.
and lowers.
There you
Is
go.
my head on straight?
So I'm not
Take a
sure.
little pap smear while
it's
you're in there, and
saying
away we go.
that they're doing it in your door viewer.
Oh yeah, go
What's
in
that?
In the,
Your
in the keyhole. In the
peephole.
heel. Yeah, they
okay.
can do it there now.
From the
can't say
outside,
people anymore.
it looks like a doorbell.
I use the sign language too.
That is, yeah.
But they're saying it's a good thing because it's letting people in apartments, dorms, or other buildings that only have knockers add
Hey.
that
What knockers?
add that functionality. So they're saying it's good.
These
They're
are
saying
some
this thing
knockers.
does more than just ring when someone presses the button. It pushes an alert to the owner's phone that someone at the door allows for two-way conversations. You can have it trigger an alert when there's a motion at the door. So
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
And
Oh,
not
so
just
that's a
that
good one.
blinding light when you walk up this driveway and need a retina scan.
Look, I'm just trying
I
to
get
keep
a little
people
bit
the
more
fuck out of
tan
my
every
car.
time I walk up. My tan was fading. I had to come back to the show.
They're saying the 8K, just so the 8K, just so you know, it's saying in person the pictures sure are crisply detailed.
They
On a shot
fucking
of a
better
swarm
be.
of bees, I could see every disgusting hair.
Well, I'm afraid that this is going to be some sort of an equity
Well, they
contract
always
with
say, right,
actors that have
each
to
new
come to your house.
technology is always like,
Yeah.
how's the porn going to be, right?
Yeah.
And that's what they say with every new technology. So
now,
what's
I-
that
But then
gonna
they
be?
I
have to-
prefer my porn a little out of focus.
But
I'm not,
yeah.
I'm not gonna
You like
lie.
that night?
Well,
And
Yeah,
they have
squinty.
to
Squinty.
film in that porn too, or it's wasted.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my helicopter ride when I
Like,
got
I
to
got
see the
X.
video and it wasn't in high def, and I'm like, what the fuck good is this?
I'm saying for the moment, there aren't any decent sources of 8K content, so the TVs are all taking lower resolution stuff and using algorithms to make up the pixels in between. Hence what you were saying, they have
Yeah.
to
Which
film
Which was
it.
freaky when HD TVs first came out too.
Takeaway,
They did that.
8K is in our future, though, but not something you need to buy today.
Yeah.
I'll just stop
And
there.
the 4Ks have dropped in price to like under $500. Like they're
Oh, TVs are cheap again. Yeah, I
So-
like when TVs are cheap.
It wasn't in your story, but what came out of CES, which is the the electronics, what came out of there that Samsung
It's
is
the
pushing
Consumer
that I
Electronics
love.
Showcase.
It's a 219 inch, which is a
What?
219
queen.
inch. It's a 12-foot TV called The Wall.
Oh, my God.
They don't have a marketing date yet. They don't have a price yet. But I'm like, yes.
Can
yes.
I pre-order one?
see, that's what I want to do with my garage.
yeah.
I want to turn it into put a couple rows of stadium seats and then the 12-foot thing, and then just sound system the fuck out of that, and then
Sure.
soundproof the outside of it a little
Right.
bit.
Right.
So my neighbors don't.
I
conditioning
didn't
it.
know you wanted to do that.
Oh yeah,
J'approve.
Yeah.
maybe a bathroom
Whatever. They'll just take up space.
outside. It'll be more
it's-
like an
when they-
outhouse.
so is it as big as like that wall behind
It's 12 foot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's
just
big-
a little bit
it's
bigger because this room's
it
what,
would be
10 by
that
10.
wall.
a theater
It
screen.
would be bigger than these 3 sound pads right here.
Yeah.
you? I think there's a tiny theater at.
Would you like to finish
My
your
God.
hamburger?
Yeah, the old-fashioned square that was that
Yeah,
size. Yeah.
that was that size.
The house that we rented in New Mexico had a projection screen that came down that was 10 feet. 10 feet by 6. I think it was 10 by 6.
No.
Oh my God! And I watched Ozarks on that, which was the biggest waste because Ozark it's filmed in the dark.
Right, it's
There's
basically just
no
squinting
people
the whole
in that.
time.
Yeah, you're just trying to find the people. Yeah. Oh no, I'd have to build out my garage. That wouldn't fit in my house.
Yeah, there's always a couple of cool things that come out of CES too.
We'll work on it.
I
And
didn't know much
E3
about it.
E3's the other one that really cool stuff comes out of.
Cool. That's all I got on that. I'll stop there.
So now, Change.org has a petition asking Trump to merge North and South Dakota into
Oh,
Megakota.
I swear, Bill Maher has been talking about this. Bill Maher has been talking
Megakota.
about this for years. And at first, sorry, but he was kidding, and now he said he's not. He's
Yeah.
like, it really does just need to be one Dakota.
So how can it be called the United States if some of our states are divided in
Oh.
half? One Megakota supporter asked. The United States map could look a little different if the people who've signed a new Change.org petition get their way. The goal, getting North and South Dakota to merge into one giant state called Megakota. The petition was signed Sunday by Dylan Stewart of Fargo, North Dakota, whose reasoning was simple. I think it'd be pretty cool to have a state called Megakota. So
I think
yeah.
it should just be called
Oh
Dakota.
yeah, and then maybe Puerto Rico could be a state, and we won't have to change our flag. I mean, this guy's a thinker. He's a problem
Super
solver.
smart.
As of Wednesday afternoon, more than 5,400 people had signed the petition, and their reasons for doing so are vast and various. I read that one. There's literally zero difference between the two states, so you might as well combine them.
Exactly.
I live here and be proud to call myself a Megatonian, Brookings, South Dakota resident. Rifkin Fox told the Argus Leader newspaper in Sioux Falls. As you might expect, the proposed state merger inspired both positive and negative reactions from Twitter. I am so team #Megakota, it hurts. I want to move there if this goes down. The state flag should just be either a picture of Optimus Prime or Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Let's go. Megakota is bullshit. South Dakota is a better Dakota. We need to remain separate. That's from Carb.
He sounds smart.
Why can't they just call
Carby
it
Hope.
Dakota?
Right. I
Right?
feel like the mega's too much.
Yeah, it is. That's
We're
overkill.
overselling it.
We're overselling
Yeah.
that part.
Tourists would be disappointed.
Well, then does it become
Because really, how great could it be even when it's merged?
But does it become the megalinas? Like, because you got North and South Carolina.
and Virginia and West Virginia.
okay.
Yeah.
It just
Thrice.
it's craziness.
Wow.
I know. So Minnesota-based journalist David H. Montgomery notes that although the idea may have started as a joke, it actually
Yeah.
could have merit.
Exactly.
Megakota would instantly be the 4th largest state by land area, the 37th largest by its economy, and the 6th biggest farm economy, just behind Minnesota. Such a change would, however, cost the Dakotas 2 of their current 4 U.S. senators,
Yeah, that's
which is
why.
what we all
Which
want.
is
And we
why it
want
will
that.
never,
Yeah.
ever happen.
Right.
And that's why we want it.
Because
though,
all of
but-
the divided states
Yeah.
are pretty reliably red states.
Yeah.
So the best part is this
Ah,
change.org spokeswoman says the success of the petition will depend on getting enough signatures, 500,000, and to draw Donald Trump's notice and inspire him to take action. Now, he's just dumb enough to not understand what that would do to the Senate.
And the name would really appeal to him.
Oh,
Yes.
it's got all the markings of so
Yeah.
if the flag was orange,
Yeah.
we could say
They could
it's
call it Trump Coda.
oh my god. You could solve so many
What
problems
would-
in one fell swoop.
Logistically, what would be involved? Because the president can't just do that. Like, the president can't just create states. That's not a thing.
No.
However you ratify a state, you need it's the like Puerto Rico keeps trying.
But you'd have to dissolve 2 states and then ratify a new state.
and right, and ratify a new
and
state.
they have to be willing to do it.
Simultaneous, like.
And then, but like
We
this
can't
one
get
says-
Congress to
so
open
we
their
had the
own
smart guy
government.
here
We're not
that
getting
says
the Megakota
Right.
people. Listen.
Right.
that you add Puerto Rico and then you're balanced because you have two.
Well, then we
two
don't have to
reds
change
and
the
2
flag.
blues. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you would get a balance in the. I think they would both.
Because
go
for
it.
years, the whole Puerto Rico problem is that
think
it's not impossible. It's just that someone has to volunteer to say, okay, like
Yeah.
with this, we'll be okay with.
Well, the first
Puerto
people
Rico
that have to
joining.
volunteer are Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
They
right,
they have to
right.
bring it up.
But I feel like they've been trying. They just can't get.
They have been trying for
They
a long
can't
time.
get the votes.
yeah.
They can't
Yeah.
get ratified. So I just think it's funny that this thing has started again. I thought it was a joke article, and then I read through it, and I mean, it's not a lot of.
They're just shy of
people's-
17,000 signatures now.
Oh, as of now, yeah, because this story is from. Yeah, last week. So I mean, we're pushing towards that. And Trump, you can talk him into some shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Ann Coulter got him to shut down the
Hamburgers.
government. Yeah.
He said that the first and second lady could either make salads or we could have hamburgers. Incidentally, who's the second lady?
That's,
Is,
Vince's
is that
wife.
Ivanka?
mother?
Was that Ivanka?
Is that Ivanka or is
Oh,
that mother?
I'm sorry, that's his girlfriend.
No.
Sorry.
Do we really call the vice president's wife the second lady?
Yeah.
oh
We
yeah,
don't.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, we
That
do.
sounds
do.
awful.
Mommy. Does
Mother.
he call her mommy?
Mother.
Oh, it's even grosser. There's no yes.
That's
The
so
story doesn't
gross,
end well
isn't it?
either way.
The
It was
beard.
only cute when my great grandfather did it.
And Ronald Reagan did that too.
Oh yeah, he did.
Mommy.
Yeah, he did. Speaking of all that, can I just share this with you right quick because I think this is hilarious.
It's
What's
Somebody
happening
made
there? Oh
Sarah,
my God.
Sarah Sanders as the Hamburglar. I
Oh
just
my
think
God!
that
Where
is-
did you get that?
It's on YouTube. I just think it's the best thing ever.
Oh, because she's wearing
Fucking-
stripes
Okay,
too.
this is
Sarah
honestly going to
Sanders.
sound really odd. She looks better that way.
Well, of course she does.
It's a fashionable outfit.
she actually looks better as the hamburger.
She looks better in the dark.
Yeah,
for Christ's sakes.
that too. What's
She also
happening
looked
here?
better if she went back to Arkansas.
Yeah, exactly. She'd look better if she retired.
I can drive her.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'd be happy
And
to.
she's
Yeah.
getting worse. And that Kellyanne Conway too. That bitch.
Oh,
Oh,
she's a
my
cunt, yeah.
God.
Ah,
Sorry,
gots
that went
to
off the rails. Clayton, you're up.
You know, thank you very much. Well, a family.
That's why I'm here.
I am so happy.
I'm here
you're
to help.
It's good to know you're here, Doug. A family has filed a lawsuit against Lifetime Television Network after their photo was used without their permission in one of the network's Christmas movies. CDM and Catherine Allah said that they were humiliated when one of the main characters in a movie called Christmas Harmony looked at their photo and called them ugly. The Allas said that they sent out the photo to 50 family members and friends, none of whom worked for Lifetime, and that they have no idea how the photograph ended up in the film. In the offending scene, the main character, named Harmony, puts their family photo up on the wall, but her love interest tells her to take it down because they're ugly. When the movie premiered back in November of 18, Setium and Catherine said that they were embarrassed after receiving multiple calls from their friends about the scene, including the picture. They accused the network of using their photo for, quote, cheap laughs and are demanding all the profits from the movie. Oh, wow. Here is the picture and the scene. Their picture is the one encircled that they were hanging up on the wall, and they used it and said that they was an ugly family or an ugly. I'm like, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's.
Wow. Wow.
I wonder how they got that.
Do we have the original picture? I can't quite tell if they're ugly or not.
I think you just go.
I love that. That's where Cat Carlson's mind away is. Well, if they are ugly.
Let's be objective about it here.
Send all of your letters to care of Cat Carlson.
That's but they are ugly.
Oh, my God.
Santa just is white.
Yeah, well. Next, we're going to be in the lawsuit next to Lifetime.
I know. I went somewhere really bad, too.
Speaking of ridiculous things, get this. 2 cats, like feline cats,
Both
are,
of them equal
are
in
living
stature.
unassisted by humans in an apartment in San Jose for $1,500 a month. Someone has rented an apartment for cats.
Oh, my God.
Is it Freddie Mercury?
In case you were wondering, the cats in question are Maine Coons, which is a breed of cat, if you don't know.
They're big
I
cats.
do. They're cool looking.
Yeah. A Silicon Valley landlord is renting his San Jose studio apartment to a pair of cats whose owner couldn't keep them at his apartment.
Oh, of course
my God.
Of course it was someone from
The rent for
Silicon
cats
Valley.
is $1,500 a month.
How are we spelling Mancoon?
Maine,
Maine.
like the state.
Maine.
Coon, like it's very offensive.
They're really cool looking.
Oh yeah, they're very personable cats. Like
Yeah,
I like
people
Maine
like them.
rental prices in Silicon Valley have skyrocketed to some of the highest in the country as troves of tech workers have made the move with grand dreams of cashing in on the next big thing. Now prospective renters may have to start competing for the limited amount of housing with our four-legged friends.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
is crazy.
On Sunday, the San Jose Mercury News reported that Silicon Valley landlord is renting his studio apartment to a pair of Maine Coon mixed cats whose owner couldn't keep them at his own apartment. Basically, I've got 2 renters who don't have opposable thumbs, said landlord. It's actually great. They're very quiet, obviously.
Yeah, they might be better tenants.
The only problem is they stink up the place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
what
Jenny
Jenny
just
just said.
commented
Because
about.
there's
Thank you,
nobody
Jenny.
to scoop the poop. You got to do that all on the regular.
My goodness.
On the daily.
Oh, and cat piss.
In case you were wondering, their names are Tina and Louise.
Jesus Christ, the professor and
Marianne.
Tina
Actually,
and
they're
Louise.
named after characters from Bob's Burgers.
Oh, yes. Sure.
No, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, they say that situation happened by chance. The landlord's good friend, Troy Good, the renter in question, who builds custom phone booths for tech offices.
Jesus Christ.
Sure he does.
Custom phone
Because that's a
booths.
thing.
Okay.
Probably comm centers in an office. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no,
Like
I'm thinking those
not
little.
like- not
no,
like-
Right.
I literally think the nerds want to get into the Doctor Who phone booth.
Yeah,
and
I think so
that
too.
may also be. Well, apparently, he needed a place for his daughter's beloved cats to live while she moved away to college. The felines apparently
She
were
can't
not
take
getting
the
along
motherfucker
well.
with her?
She left her fucking cats.
Left her. Well, she went to college. You can't take
I
your cats to
understand that.
college.
I don't know.
The kid's like 18. They're not really even her cats. They still belong to her
Give them
parents.
to Aunt Zelda. She has a farm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey. Well, as you can imagine, the situation has struck some as absurd.
Me.
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah,
Although I kind of want somebody to rent me my own apartment because they can't keep me.
Yeah.
Cat, you can't live here anymore.
I'd like
We're
to
gonna rent
sign
you an
up.
apartment.
From the cat's point of view, it's fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
they're just shitting and pissing on
Yeah.
everything.
Incidentally, because I'm about to go follow this account, the cats do keep an active Instagram account
Thank God
up.
for
to
that.
show off their apartment.
Thank you.
living.
Praise
Thank you,
him.
God.
The account is described as 2 spoiled Maine Coon Bombay sisters. And can be
Insta?
found on Instagram. Yeah, hang on. I'm clicking the link.
I'm get ready to type.
Clicking the link.
It's at Tina _and all spelled out _Louise.
Oh, Aaron knows about the phone booths. Open platform. Oh, okay.
Where's my
Oh,
underscore?
good lord.
We like our version better, Aaron.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Thank
do.
you, though. Yeah, we're all going to follow Tina and Louise.
Oh, Tina and
A&D, yeah.
A&D
Yeah.
underscore.
And
Tina, like, hit her again, and A&D.
Like,
Hit her again, Ike. And Louise.
Found him. Followed him.
Yep.
They made
yep,
3
yep,
posts.
Yep. Very
Wow.
excited. My gosh, they have 20 followers now, and some of them are us. This article really circulated wide.
Oh, wait. This is...
Is that the wrong Tina
No,
and
it's the
Louise?
wrong one because they're 2 ducks.
Oh, no.
Jesus.
And their
That
motto
have
is...
their own apartment in
I'm
Northern
out.
California.
I'm out
Their
now.
website is duckcommander.com. Ban the Duck Dynasty now. That's the wrong one. That's not... Wait. Oh, wait. There's Tina and Louise 2.0. Oh, there's so many Tina and Louises.
Oh, there, I've got it. It's this one right here.
What's the...
Go down 1, 2, 3, like 4 of them.
What's the picture?
It's a cat.
I hope it's 2 cats.
Looking like this.
Looking like a man.
She looked
Looking like a man.
like a man.
Got it. Found it. Followed it.
All right, now I'm following 2 Tina and
Aaron,
Louises.
we don't deal in actual facts here.
One has ducks. Facts don't matter anymore.
no, they
we
don't.
don't care.
Yeah.
Speaking of facts don't matter, Doug, what are you going to read for us?
Well, this is nice and short, and
You're gonna
I
make
may
up for the
need you
first
to.
story you told.
May need you to work the Google machine.
I know
Kat,
how to do that. I'm in.
because the headline starts with Florida man, and I love that my students, because so many horrible things happen in Florida,
Yeah,
right?
all
That
of the- all
my
of the
students
things.
told me there is
All
actually
of
now
the
a site or social media or some spot somewhere that is just a site called Florida Man with all the headlines about like the guy
Seems
that
legit.
walks into a bar with an alligator, this kind of thing.
it's probably a.
So if you can find Florida Man, that would be
It's
cool.
it's on Reddit, and there's also
There it is, yeah.
FloridaMan.com.
That one. That's I think it's the .com.
FloridaMan.com.
So
Florida man steals shoes after job interview.
yeah, perfect.
Florida man calls 911, tells cops, "Take me to jail, motherfucker."
Yes.
Florida man caught trying to steal multiple purple sex toys. Florida man
It's the greatest
ruins Festival of Lights, holds sign and yells Santa isn't real. Florida man offers undercover cop a hamburger in exchange for sex. Florida man caught with his pants down,
thing. Isn't this great?
breaking into car dealership.
I think Marnie's done almost all of these stories. I think we know where
Yes.
Marnie's source
Well, now someone's aggregating them for us.
Nearly naked Florida man wearing just a Santa hat and boots casually shops at Walgreens.
So I only have one to add now.
Okay.
Oh, there's more. I could go on for days.
Well, you can. Let
This
me just
isn't
say
your
this
story?
one though. No, but this will go right on. I'm sure you can find
Casually.
it in there. A Florida
Casually
man
shops.
is behind bars after he allegedly threatened to kill his neighbor with kindness. It's not what you think. Kindness is what the 30-year-old suspect, Brian Stewart, calls his machete, according to police.
Clever.
Mhm.
Clever.
Stewart of Milton was arrested on Thursday for an incident that allegedly happened Wednesday evening. It began when 2 of Stewart's neighbors went to the suspect's house, concerned about yelling and banging that had come from the home all day. Stewart came out of the house with his arm raised holding the machete, which had the word kindness written on it.
Oh,
One of the
Jesus
neighbors
Christ.
stepped in front of the other to block the blade and suffered a half-inch cut on his left hand. The Santa Rosa Sheriff's Department was called, and deputies arrived and arrested Stewart. They said that Stewart's breath smelled of alcohol.
No.
And he had to be stunned with a taser before he was put inside the patrol car. Police said he had to be hobbled after kicking inside the car and banging his head.
He had to be hobbled.
Hobbled.
Wow. How 19th, what is it,
Yeah.
17th century?
James Cain
How-
style.
exactly.
Jimmy Cain style.
The individual was hobbled after he came out of the store.
He was booked in Santa Rosa jail on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without the intent to kill and aggravated battery. He remains behind bars in lieu of $10,000 bail. I'm sure he'll be showing up on
Right.
Florida Man soon.
Can I spend the rest of
Yes,
the show reading
yes,
Florida
I
Man
think you
headlines?
can. I think you can.
Florida man thinks rapture is happening, burns down house stocked with flamethrowers and explosive ammo.
Got to be ready.
Florida man on the run after shoving footlong sandwich down his pants. Naked Florida man shoots cop with a crossbow. Florida man attempts time travel, crashes into building instead.
Well, it didn't take him long.
Florida man enters convenience store carrying live gator, chases customers. Florida man trashes McDonald's, challenges cops to fight him at jail. Florida man threatens to blow up lesbian's home because she won't have sex with him. Can't imagine why.
Yeah,
Weird.
that's a puzzler.
Florida man strips naked at the mall, makes whooping sound at police.
We have my students
Whoop, whoop,
to thank
whoop.
for this.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Florida man goes to Japanese steakhouse, starts stripping in front of customers.
Here's your Benihana.
A lot of naked Florida men.
Yeah,
is.
that might be a subreddit there.
Nearly naked Florida man
This one didn't take it all the way.
spotted weaving through I-95 on bicycle in Miami.
Clayton, we may need every now and then we may need a Florida man segment.
I think we do.
We may.
Two Things has just become 785 Florida man readings.
You're
Welcome
welcome.
to Two Things.
Cat Carlson, you're welcome.
Florida man hired on Thursday, fired on Sunday, tries to kill boss 2 hours later.
I'm gonna come up with a new song.
Florida man, Florida man.
does whatever a Florida man
I'm
can.
gonna kill you with kindness.
Florida
Thank you,
man
Amina.
shoves $100 of iced coffee in his pants.
She's on a roll. I've
It's
created a
just
monster.
good time.
Wow.
Florida man reports dead body by taking skull to Publix, using it as a hand puppet.
No.
Publix, if you don't know, is a,
Right,
is
it's
a
a grocery
pharmacy.
store.
Right, it's a grocery store.
So you
That's what he says,
Oh
using
my
it as a hand puppet.
Oh my God, Nero! I clicked the link.
Weird.
Now that's just entertainment.
That's
Ow.
showbiz, baby. That's
Showbiz.
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 There's
just
no
showbiz.
business.
Click the
like
link that Nero
show
sent.
business like
Huh?
no
Just click
business
on the
like
link that
can you imagine?
Hang on, I'm
Nero sent.
Oh, naked Florida man drinks 2 liters of vodka, burns down house baking cookies on a George Foreman grill. Florida man driving car full of stolen mail crashes into trailer full of alpacas.
I've seen this one before. I forgot. That's funny.
Nearly naked Florida man breaks into crocodile pond, gets bit.
A story with no surprises.
There's literally no end to this.
So funny.
Florida man gets drunk at campsite, bites off neighbor's fingertip.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I feel like there's a story there.
Naked Florida
Just the
man
tip.
breaks into restaurant to eat ramen noodles and play bongos.
Oh my God, Jenny.
Oh,
yes.
what's his face? Matthew McConaughey.
In that order.
Jenny has a suggestion for Marnie's segment, and I second that.
Oh, what's in Marnie's bag?
She pulls Mouse's shit out of her
She
bag.
does. It's like she's
And I'm
moving
the
in.
only one that gets to look down and like see into the depths of that bag and be
It's like Mary Poppins, but slightly less condescending.
Lesbian Mary Poppins.
Larry Poppins.
Larry Poppins.
Larry, the cable guy, Poppins.
Good job.
There'll be a song. There'll be a song about her socks and hats matching. To the tune of Chim Chimmery.
Larry Poppins in the Subaru.
Just a plaid pair of Converse helps the Subaru go round. The Subaru go round. Subaru go round. Just a plaid pair of Converse helps the Subaru go round. In a rather butchy way.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Meanwhile, in Florida, Florida man says
Oh no.
Larry
Barely.
Poppins.
Larry
God damn it.
Poppins.
Oh god. This is none of us are even drinking.
I know,
Well, no,
I
you
just
got
thinking
wine.
it's time for a drink.
Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Poppins.
And her man purse.
What's in the bag, Larry?
And it'll be like a clown that pulls the scarves out and it never stops.
never
Marnie's
stops.
Larry's bag will
She
just
pulls
be
out a hammer and a pair of Crocs. She gets like all the tools and everything.
You know what? You gotta find a lesbian on the street and just play Let's Make a Deal with a camera. You know what I mean? What's in the purse? I'll give you $20 if
Right.
you got
What's
3
in your pocket?
hairpins.
Lesbians don't carry purses. Marnie carries her whole luggage. She's
Yeah,
got a
that is right.
Samsonite collection.
Lesbians
I'm using
carry
the word
wallets,
lesbian
right?
purse in quotation marks. 'Cause
All
It's
right.
really a roller
It's usually
bag.
a backpack or
Yeah.
Kat, do you carry a wallet?
I do.
Is
yeah.
it like a man's
Oh,
wallet?
yeah.
Okay, see, this is the thing, right? There you can I
No,
may
please,
I
by
may
all
I?
means. Yeah, they're all
As I'm
maxed out, so
I
you
love
can't get anywhere.
accessories. It's
yeah.
like an illness with me. Okay, I like this a lot.
Yeah, it does
does
the job. It
everything.
keeps
It's-
the credit cards. There's a little
yes, like,
space
I
for a little
like that.
cash.
Yeah.
The cash usually sits
She
in
can
my
hide
front pocket,
condoms
though.
in
Now
there.
I'm going to Barbara Walters' cat now.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious now.
Oh.
Do you own a purse?
I don't.
Wow.
No.
That-
Why would I?
I thought.
What
Well,
the-
I don't know.
Why? Well, yeah. Why would
Well, you
I
know,
have
I don't
two.
know. Like I don't know about
Hang
the
on,
whole lesbian
hang
deal.
on, wait,
Maybe
wait, wait.
Listen.
Wait.
like maybe you have to go to something where you might need a purse.
Hang on. I may have
There's
it here.
literally nothing in
Okay.
the world that I would go to
I'm
that
gonna-
requires me to carry.
I'm
a
going to
purse.
give you
Okay.
2 options on purse.
Okay.
Okay.
One is tool belt.
That's what Larry does on light days. Light flow days.
The other's
get a
going to
tool
be
belt.
belt bag.
Oh.
Do you
fancy.
have either of those?
I have neither of those.
Oh my god.
A money belt. Is that a thing? I feel like that's a thing.
That is a thing, and I don't have one of those either.
Because credit cards are too
I-
thick.
If I need to carry more, like to work, I take a backpack.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I put my lunch
So
in
do I.
there, and I put my,
Yeah.
whatever, coffee. And
That's not what purses
Right.
are for.
I
I
don't-
just want to help you with that. None of those things would go in a purse.
She
So
might
here's,
not know that.
Here's the other problem. I don't actually know what purses are for. I know Sharon holds my sunglasses
a
in
lot
them
of gay
a lot
guys will
times.
tell you because they.
Oh, I can tell you what a purse is for. I have like 12.
Sharon
tail
will-
Al's a
okay.
hairbrush.
Al's not saying anything here, but
I
I'm
have
gonna.
two.
He's
I'm
got a
gonna.
purse.
Okay, thank you, because I was gonna report about when you were a child and get the animal crackers box.
As
He
a
liked
purse.
it
Oh,
because
sure,
it
it had
was
the
a
little
purse.
string. It's a little.
I hope you
yeah.
don't mind that I shared it because because I did the same thing and
very
I love
cute.
it.
Oh, I
So-
have two purses.
Sure.
So, do you own any dresses?
I do not.
It's just like Ellen, like the whole Ellen DeGeneres never wears a
the
dress.
last time I wore a dress for Sirius was
Mm-hmm.
in 2001 for somebody's wedding.
Was it at gunpoint? Like what?
No, I was young enough to still think that it was like required, and I was in the wedding. I was a bridesmaid, so I was. Yeah, so.
I'm thinking that because I'm going to a wedding in December of JoJo and Megan.
And you're thinking of wearing a dress?
No.
Oh.
But I'm figuring because I know JoJo and I know Megan because that's going to be what I'm going to call a 50-50 wedding, meaning all of JoJo's, like JoJo's side.
Oh, they're gonna be wearing the tux and the
it's all
Converse.
tuxes and pantsuits at least. I mean, and then all of the.
I've been in that wedding
the,
too.
the pretty lesbian, what I call the fancy or whatever lipstick lesbian
Yeah.
on the other side. That's all the dresses and all
Sure.
the other updos and all the fancy shit because that's how they are. It's
Yeah.
So, Kat, would you feel uncomfortable? Like, would a purse make you uncomfortable?
I wouldn't know what to do with
You
it. I'd
wouldn't know.
probably leave it behind.
Because they asked him. I remember I
Forget
was
it
watching
everywhere.
Ellen. They have the 8 times Ellen was ever wore a dress on the show, but it was like because it was a costume. It was a
Sure.
joke or something. And someone finally just asked her about it, and she just said, "I just would not feel comfortable in a dress, and that's why I don't wear them." Because someone was like, "Why don't you just wear a dress like once?" And she's like, "Because I don't want to."
So I,
Yeah.
I decided in like 2005, after, and it was a joke. It was some drag show, and they stuck me in a dress. And after that, I decided that was.
Heather.
I decided that was the last time I ever needed to wear a dress in my life. There's
Yeah.
no occasion where I ever have to wear a dress.
Yeah, wear a smart
Right.
pantsuit can't
Right.
get you through
Yeah.
the evening.
I look quite smart in a vest and a jacket.
Yeah. Well, we saw pictures of Marnie and Aaron went to something fancy, and Marnie
Yeah.
was they looked great.
Sure.
The picture of them. I think
Yeah.
Aaron was in a dress, Marnie was in like a pants, but it was like she looked fantastic. And I wonder like if you would feel uncomfortable, then you would look worse in the dress. Like should
I would
you
imagine
wear,
so. You should see me try and wear heels. It's awful. It's like a trucker walking down the street.
I laugh about that all the time. How there's all these gay men that can walk in heels and women
All right, no.
who just look like
Yeah.
it's like, oh my god.
Honestly, have you ever put like tape on the bottom of a cat's foot? That's kind of one of those.
Oh yeah.
What is happening? What is happening?
Why is this on my?
Interesting. All right.
Can't feel my toes. I don't know what's happening.
And Nero, the last time she wore a dress was in the 8th grade.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Nero's
And trying to
reporting.
blend in
Never
and
never
didn't
had a
work.
purse.
No, and my mother and I used to fight about it because my mother had this thing when I was really young where, and a lot of people go through this, where girls should know how to wear a dress. Like you just sometimes
Right.
in life you just have to wear a dress, so
Right.
you have to know how.
Exactly.
And so she picked a weekly torture device.
Oh no.
You have
This is
to,
awful.
You have to wear a dress or a skirt to school
This
at least
is
one day a week.
Child abuse.
I know.
Wow.
And the fights and the tears that ensued, she eventually gave up.
That is actually abusive.
Well,
I mean,
it was like 1984.
no, I know, but
There
I mean,
was no
I
such
meant,
thing
or
as
maybe,
child abuse.
Let me look at, like traumatic for you. Like on your end, you're like, why the hell do I have to do this?
I bet it's all clear to her now.
Yeah, they've stopped asking.
It's making sense now, Clayton.
So maybe that wasn't the hill I should have picked to die on.
No, at the time that was the hill to die on, and
Right, yeah.
and I eventually won that argument because it became not worth it for either of us. Like it just became
Sure.
torture for both of us because it was not happening.
Just gonna make a woman out of you if I killed her.
Yeah. And eventually your kids get too old to just manhandle them through whatever you
Yeah,
want
you
them
can't
to do.
do it
Eventually
anymore.
you have to,
They're going to do it what they want to
Yeah.
do. Or they'll have their outfit on the second they leave the house.
Oh, I
they
did
throw
lots
it in the
of that, yeah.
garbage and
Yeah.
wear their clothes. You know?
Other girls were putting
Yeah.
on sluttier outfits. I
Yeah,
was putting on jeans
they wanted
and a
to
flannel
look
shirt.
slutty, and you wanted
I'm
to
not
wear a
kidding.
flannel.
As Annette tells everyone in the room what purses are for: a lip balm, a breath freshener, small bottle of moisturizer, a charging plug, wet wipes, some money house keys, and condoms.
Well, thank you, Anant, for the win. That's
Turns out
exactly
I don't have
right.
a ton of use for condoms.
I know you don't want to put all that in my. No, I'm not putting all that shit in my pocket either. I hate stuff in my pockets.
But condoms can
have a
also
ton in
be
my
a
pocket.
handy.
That's a good.
like,
That's what would be in my purse.
you
for
use
sure.
them as mittens, waterproof mittens.
On a
if
cool day
if
where you need a
needed
light
to-
lubricant and
But no.
something to be ribbed for pleasure.
No, but or you can also use them like you could put your phone in it and seal it up. It's waterproof
That's
to
true.
phone. Like there's a lot of uses for condoms that you don't have to actually.
I
have
never gave that
other
much
people-
thought, but
No, because they're. You think about it, they
Did
stretch.
you bring the condom for my phone?
oh, I get that. I get it.
You can use them for all kinds of things.
It's true. Very true.
They're protected
Okay,
for
this
so
get
many
bigger
things.
pockets. All of a sudden, people are going to be wearing coveralls, and again, I must say no.
I do enjoy.
Where
a
do you think
coverall.
cargo shorts started from?
I
I
enjoy
say
it.
no to those
Yeah,
too.
that's-
lesbian
I am
should
not
be
a
against
pack
the
mule.
law.
There are
I'm not
pictures of me.
moving.
There's a picture of me. I should get it and scan it for next week. There's a picture of me in overalls
I
on
know.
on a tractor
I believe it.
on a farm in Missouri.
There's
The answer
probably
to
pictures
overalls
of
is
me
always
in
no.
overall shorts with one
Oh,
side
no.
of it.
I
hanging
wasn't
out.
on
I'm sure there's
Hee-Haw.
pictures
Remember
of
when
me.
Guess made those in the 80s?
Yes,
Not-
I'm pretty sure
the
I had
Guess
some. That's what I
overalls?
had. Yeah.
And everyone wore them with the
Twain.
one side unbuckled or
Yeah,
undone.
that's
Oh, yeah.
exactly what I just said.
Yes, exactly.
And the
Yep.
Oshkosh.
Guess. Yeah.
Nope, absolutely not.
whose
Like
story?
fanny
Where are
packs.
we?
We don't- nobody
I yield my
knows.
time to the man from Florida.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go.
Florida
ahead.
man urinates at bus stop. What?
That's just daily. That's just it's 3 o'clock.
Florida
Is he
man
peeing?
admits
Goes
to
3
having
o'clock.
sex with a miniature horse.
Oh,
Admits it.
we did have that. We definitely had that story. Marnie definitely did that story.
Florida man kicked out of library for watching virtual reality porn after forgetting to plug in headphones.
Step 2: plug in headphones.
Florida man, this is the last one. Florida man, curious about public masturbation, says he did it because he's dumb.
Well, I can't argue.
And that's this week in Florida man.
Thanks. Oh God.
Thank you, Kat.
Completely changing gears and states.
No.
Plenty of strange things have been caught on home security cameras, from a woman wearing restraints to strangers licking doorbells. But what one mom in Atlanta captured on her home security camera will actually send chills down your spine, and it's a very
don't want chills.
interesting story. Her name is Jennifer Hodge, and last week she was watching TV in her bedroom with her 21-year-old daughter named Lauren. She checked her phone and saw a notification that said, "Your entryway camera saw someone," which, for those of you who have security cameras at home, mine will come up occasionally and it'll say, your carport camera saw someone, or activity, or whatever it is. So she checked her phone and saw a notification, like I said, saying your entryway camera saw someone. Attached to the message was an image from the camera that seemed to show an almost transparent bearded male figure in what looked like pajamas in her kitchen. Oh my God. Well, that is enough to freak out just about anyone. What Jennifer and Lauren realized is what really shook them up. The person in the picture looked exactly like Jennifer's son, Robbie, who died in 2016 at the age of 23. Here is the picture from her phone that she got. There is the image in her kitchen that shows the image of what appears to be a kid standing in their kitchen. The women ran to the kitchen to find out what was going on, but no one was there, no evidence of a break-in. And since then, Jennifer hasn't seen anything strange in the house, but has been touched by the experience. She told the Daily Mail, "Now I feel like he was letting me know that he's up happy in heaven and he's okay. This brings me comfort, but I still think it's weird. I'm in awe. Why did this happen to me? I haven't seen anything since, and I have never seen a ghost before. I don't know what to believe. I'm still in a state of shock." It probably didn't surprise Jennifer that Robbie would visit her. She described her son as, quote, "one of the most giving, caring, loving human beings." In fact, Jennifer and Robbie spent a lot of time helping others, even setting up a charity to assist those battling addiction. Robbie himself struggled with addiction and wound up passing away at the age of 23 from an accidental overdose of Xanax. So there is, here's another picture. There's the image from the kitchen. There's her son, and then her holding a picture of her son. But that's a trip to have that pop up.
Wow.
She
that is.
had him show up in her house. I thought that was. My cameras have not
Freaky.
caught that. It always catches some crackhead who thinks they're going to steal something or
He'll
I
be
like
a
when it
ghost
shows
soon.
your
That's
cat.
what you have to remember.
Huh?
He'll be a ghost soon.
maybe.
I like when it sees your cat walking by.
But cats are fucking everywhere. They all over the place. Did you have something else, Cat?
No, I did mine too.
Doug?
And Florida Man.
Anything else?
Nope.
One last.
Kirsten Gillibrand.
Gillibrand.
Threw her hat in the ring for
Yes.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a
Right on.
story. This is a story. For
I want to see
later.
Amy Klobuchar next.
Oh, they're lining up.
Mm-hmm.
All somebody said that all 25,000 people that
Yeah.
are going to run for president. It's been entertaining. Just all that, to say the least. Oh, my mother sent me a picture. What's Mom sending me a picture of?
How do you spell her last name?
Oh my God, Mother, that's so funny.
Klobuchar with
Hang
a K.
on a minute.
K-L-O-B.
Hang on.
I
I
really
can't-
like
Oh, yeah.
you. I think she'd be a perfect candidate. But she
Mom,
has
that's funny.
There's nothing to attack her on.
What did Mom
no
say?
scandal.
Hang on. I'm going to show you what Mom sent. Mom
Oh,
sent
that'll be
a-
good.
Oh, she's already in as of January 2019, officially
Thank you.
candidate.
I love her. She's on MSNBC all the time.
Who is this? Oh, Klobuchar?
Yeah, she's so reasonable though. Like she'd be hard for
I really
Republicans
like
to.
her.
I do too.
I like Klobuchar.
You can't do a Pelosi or a Warren or any of that on her, or Clinton. Like there's just nothing there to attack. There's just nothing they can do except call her a Democrat. But whatever.
Well, who cares about that?
Right. So I want to see her, but I like Kristen Gillibrand because she's all about sexual assault legislation and domestic violence. So she's got
That was an
cool
awkward
things.
pause there.
What?
You said I like Kristen Gillibrand because she's all about sexual assault.
Oh yeah,
Right.
That's what I like.
Legislation.
Thank God she's
Yeah.
like she's all about sexual assault.
It was an awkward pause there. Should really
All
should really
about-
punctuate better
She
there.
really likes that sexual assault. That's
Florida man drives stolen car into ditch, has diaper wearing monkey attached to him.
Really?
Yep, Florida man hides stolen zoo animals in his apartment. Florida man masturbates in public.
You
Yeah,
are
what is the
killing-
next segment?
Tells cops he's Captain Kirk.
My mother.
I can do this all
alert
day.
the cop.
What?
Captain Kirk.
What happened?
Alert the com. I'm Captain Kirk now.
Oh my God.
You. My mom just sent me this picture. This is in early '80s. This is in early '80s. I had a go kart.
I'm so afraid.
I'm
of
on the
what
go
I'm about
kart.
to see.
That's me on a go kart in overalls.
Oh, that's
Seems
cute.
about right.
Yeah,
Look very short.
That's a cute picture.
I looked short. Yeah, the picture technology wasn't good.
Because
in
he's
the
only
80s.
7 there.
Well, no,
At least I
would've
hope
been-
so with those overalls on.
No, no.
I
In my teens.
say it all the time. As soon as somebody puts on overalls, your IQ drops like 55 points.
You think you're funny. You think you're funny, don't you?
I loved Steve King. I mean,
Who doesn't? Where's my other?
oh, and not. I'm sorry.
I don't know. We should do something else.
We're
though, 'cause
going
I'm just
to.
going to keep reading
Yeah.
Florida man.
I know. I'm like, where
I don't
did
know
you
what's
go?
happening.
Florida man climbs on top of playground equipment to tell kids where babies come from.
What better place? You've got an audience.
Honest to God. Naked Florida man tased after issuing a bomb threat at the Daytona airport. And there's a photo. He's a handsome man.
He's a handsome.
Look at him,
Man.
naked on the floor.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God.
Let's do this and see how. Oh wait, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do. Here we go. Let's do this.
Oh, entertainment!
Oh,
We've got
good.
a Death Den.
Oh.
We've got some really shitty reviews for a Donna Summer special that I was shocked by. Oh, where was your crucifix story coming?
I don't care.
Oh, okay, never mind. We talked about that. We talked about that. That's for something else. A couple of things on Netflix to watch.
Great.
And then the Critics' Choice were pussies. So we have that to discuss.
Schitt's Creek.
Oh, and Schitt's Creek tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Many things.
So you're gonna listen to this little break intro as well. Coming back with entertainment. Hang on, no, you're gonna listen to this.
Oh, I gotta go back.
I'd like you to open your cash register and give me your money.
Small problem. Our money isn't for sale.
You're listening to Q Talk America. This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Holy crap. Ladies and gentlemen, look at us go. We are kicking off hour 3, the C block, as we sometimes like to call it. And I'm all alone in the studio. Nobody's here. They're out running errands or doing something in the kitchen. I'm not sure. Kat Carlson was making fun of the way somebody opened a bottle of wine that's in my refrigerator. Apparently she thinks a raccoon has snuck into my house and chewed the label off of a wine bottle or something. I'm not exactly sure. We've done our headlines. We caught up with what everybody's been doing. Doug Wilkie's here tonight, filling in for Marnie Ryer because Marnie is busy doing something else. She didn't tell us what it was, so there's that. This hour, we're going to get into some entertainment. We have a Death Den to talk about. Al's got a whole bunch of stuff he's going to bring to the table. And in just moments, both Kat and Doug are going to walk back into the studio and leave me hanging with dead air, because that's dead air right there. Normally I toss right to Al Perkins for entertainment, but he's
That's okay. I'm here.
occupied doing something else. You know, it's a live show, ladies and gentlemen, and we can't always hit the post when we're supposed to. And if we
Listen, let me tell you what happened.
okay, what happened? What happened in my refrigerator? What did you find?
So raccoons apparently
Oh,
entered the kitchen and decided to open a bottle of wine and left all of the foil like sticking up in like
Not all of
shards.
that. No.
No, like more. Like
I am
there's-
being
this is
I'm
just
being misrepresented right
all right.
now.
Can you
awful.
hold something up to the camera there and show
It's-
the people behind?
Well,
That's
it's-
not
it's
what
not
was.
very
That's
exciting
not
now.
what
No,
was
it's not.
left
No,
behind.
it's not exciting now. Oh, look at that. Little pieces of stuff.
Little pieces of
was,
stuff.
That was
But
in my
it's-
fridge?
Well, it was on the
No.
bottle of wine. So what happens is
Okay.
people who have opened a bottle of wine, you should cut or remove the foil around the
I
neck
tried
and
to
over the
do
cork
that earlier.
first
Okay.
before putting the corkscrew in and pulling the cork out. Because what happens, and the reason that I noticed it, is when they do that at work, that foil is left behind and I end up cutting my hand off.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
and
Like I end up,
I have not tonight, but I've done that before.
Fellow
Sure.
alcoholic Doug Wilkie
Yes,
has
right
cut
here.
his head.
And so when the lazy boys of Cobalt do that, it makes me angry.
You have chairs now?
And so, right,
Okay.
right, yeah, a whole sofa section.
So it triggered you.
So it triggered me, and I was like, "What?" Because I went, I went to work briefly yesterday because somebody called in sick, so there was like some coverage. So I was there for just a little while, and noticed that apparently bears work at Cobalt, and they do all of the
And
opening, and they do all of
and
the opening of
raccoons.
boxes.
Wow.
Right, you know, because
Right.
these boys just like
Just
tear into
rip it,
boxes like
yeah.
angry bears, and I'm like, what in the fuck? Like, there's a way to open all of these things, and that's not it. You don't have to hack your way
That's
into
not
it. I
it.
promise.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
the box of straws has a nice little flap. You don't have to rip into the side of it. I don't know what the fuck these people are doing. So I'm really just on a rampage about how people are opening things, and I was triggered.
I was in her
kitchen,
line of sight on that
and
one.
I had to rectify the situation before someone got hurt.
Is there a counterpart argument to this with regards to how people close things?
Well, sometimes, sure.
Okay. I didn't know if maybe you were as
My
hot.
problem with when you leave the
Oh,
raccoon
now you're gonna
wrapping,
talk?
Yeah, you leave the raccoon wrapping, and I used to bitch about it at the bar, and people would be like, "Why are you complaining?" And then you go to take the thing up, and the foil slices up
She just
your
said we just
fingers.
talked about.
Thank
cutting
you
her
for
hand.
keeping up.
Yeah, that was my
Can't you
entire.
hear from the
Right.
can?
Thank you for
So I
keeping
stopped
up.
everything that I was doing because I opened the refrigerator
did.
and I saw that raccoon
She
should
saw
open
it.
his
She was-
bottle
she
of
was like,
wine.
no.
And I went, what in
But
the
what's
fuck
interesting
is
about that
happening?
is, of
What in
course,
a Sam Hill?
I don't open bottles of wine because I don't drink wine. You
I have
two.
I have a problem with that particular opener. It's not like mine.
Oh, with the
and so-
with the bartender or with the waiter opener or just
no,
this particular
just
one?
that particular one's
So
a
the
little
knife's not
wobbly.
super sharp,
It's like
right?
not
Well, then
very.
maybe we should just get
Oh,
the fucking
thank
rid
you.
of it.
Now I'm being redeemed after.
No, 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 the knife
Carlson
isn't
put
super
this.
I
sharp.
have like 5 of those.
Yeah,
So-
there's a red one that's a little bit
So
better.
Yeah.
I want you to know something, Kat.
Tell me things.
I do know how to open a bottle of wine, and I started to
God.
do it correctly, and that blade wouldn't cut that foil.
Yeah.
We were short on time in here. We were getting ready, and so I was like, "Fuck
It
this!
didn't stop
I'm
us at the
going in."
break.
Right?
No
So,
shit.
You know what I mean? So
When did you decide that we were going to be in studio on time? Last week?
right? So I
Way to
was
go,
more
ass
about I just
kisser.
wanted a fucking glass of wine. So it's like the
So
moral
I
of the
chewed
story.
through it.
So
Go right there,
but
Ross.
this happened though.
Opening beer bottles with
the
their
last
teeth.
time, sometimes other times I've come with open bottles that have been previously open. The last time I tried to use that, it also went wrong, and
Yeah.
then you had to come in and do it.
The red one's better.
So I swear I know how to open a bottle of wine.
As a
But
practicing professional,
I
I
like
will help you.
where you went with this because one time I did cut my hand at home because the same thing kind of thing
Yeah.
happened, and I was like, Jesus, and I went like that. I'm like,
You have a
oh
raccoon
my
problem at your
God.
own house?
I did that night. But that
somebody
I
had
might have been alcohol impaired though.
So, I was at
But I do know how. I opened bottles of wine for 13 years. Just to
I went to a
set the
wine
record straight.
tasting where they pulled that sleeve. They did some kind of maneuver, and that whole sleeve came off in like one move.
So some bottles,
Are like all the way down tear.
well, some of them have a little tear, and some of them are just elastic enough. Like we have a wine that we carry at Cobalt that and apparently I have the strongest hands in the house. Imagine.
Really?
I know.
She works with a bunch of Nelly guys.
No purse.
And no purse.
No purse.
No purse and strong old man hands.
Not opposed to overalls.
But yeah, the boys hand it to me all the time because it's a bitch to get the foil off, but I
Right.
can just pop
Yeah.
it all
Yeah,
off at once.
that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some little trick where the way you cut it. That
Oh,
it,
sure.
That it pops off,
it all
and I
just
saw that
flips
at a
off.
wine tasting.
really-
and I was like,
but
well, that's
the-
cool.
proper way-
Some of that's about this knife being really sharp too, though.
Yeah.
The proper way that you're talking about. Oh, by the way, Mark Tarbell has his new show premiered on last Thursday night on PBS, Plate and Pour. So good. Where they visit Valley restaurants and chefs. And at the end, he said, you'll like this. He ended the segment with how to properly open a bottle of wine. And it was exactly as you said. You cut one side, the other, the foil pops off, and then he talked about using the graduated step, on the opener. And he was trying to say, like, don't be intimidated by a bottle of wine. He didn't talk about it in raccoons, but
Well,
but
we
maybe
used to.
we could call him up, Kat.
I prefer a zoo animal metaphor for all of my.
When I worked at Hilton, you had to like if you sucked at it, then you went into the bar side of the restaurant and you just opened all the
For the
glass
night.
bottles.
Yeah.
Sure.
For
That's
the
a great
entire
idea.
day.
Yep.
And that's what I mean.
And
that
then
was
you
your
knew.
punishment, and then you knew because by the end of it, you'd open like, geez, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
You
But
I've
that's-
opened 12 cases of wine.
Trying to get us back on track here. Ladies
Okay.
and gentlemen,
Back
we're starting
on crack.
hour
hi, guys.
3 with a little entertainment from Al Perkins.
So just a little bit. We'll just briefly go over the Critics' Choice and why they're pussies. So the Critics' Choice Award, it's the Broadcast Movie Critics Association, blah, blah, blah.
We're mad at them, right?
Sometimes they do a good job.
I saw
but
the headline.
not
I
Yeah.
think
this
we're
time.
mad at them.
Yeah, because they did
Good.
ties this year. It was
Fuck
very strange.
That there's
And they-
winners and losers in this
Yeah.
world. We are winners.
We established
they're
under
one
the
of those-
beginning.
We've got the hamburgers.
Here-
Yeah.
we have
They're one of
hamburgers,
those
we're
secret
winners.
societies that no one knows who's voting or who the fuck they
Ah,
are. And they
God
got
damn it.
themselves on TV a couple years ago, and they changed themselves around. There was some fun stuff like Crazy Rich Asians won Best Comedy.
Which
that
is
was
good.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible 6, this time it's personal, won Best Action Movie, and I had to agree with them because I absolutely loved that movie.
I'll allow it.
And then they had Christian Bale win for Best Actor in a Comedy and then Best Actor overall. And I just felt like, I know y'all bagged on Rami Malek for, you ragged on the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, so they were really hesitant to show it any love. But I was like, that really, I mean, they're both in makeup and they're both doing like, I
Could
don't
be a
know.
good performance in a bad movie.
Yeah, Iron Lady.
Yeah,
Best
right,
example.
there you go.
There you go. You can win awards for something that you were the only good part of. But the weird
There's
part
hope
was,
for
so
me
they
yet.
get to like the showdown. Like, is it going to be Lady Gaga or Glenn Close? And they went with a tie. And it's like, God damn it, just fix the ballots and vote for who you want to win.
Right.
I refuse to believe they sat there. Now, like the New York Film Critics in years past have done ties, but they keep voting and voting and voting until they break
Till
the
they
tie.
have a winner.
Or
Because Kat
famously,
told them to.
the year that they couldn't break the tie, they put Jessica Lange in supporting for Tootsie and Meryl Streep in lead for Sophie's Choice so that they could both win an Oscar because Jessica Lange should have had an Oscar for Frances, and they all knew it. It was just the year of two of the greatest performances by female artists in history, and they backed them up together, and they needed a way out of that, and that really was a fighting tie. This was bullshit. And then the other tough category was leading actress in a miniseries or movie, and you have Rosanna Arquette in Escape from Dannemora and Amy Adams in Cut Yourself. What the hell's that movie called?
Sharp
Objects.
And
Stabby
they
places,
made that one
I
a
don't
tie too. Like make it like
What the?
make a pick. Like don't.
How
take
many people are there in this thing? How do they get
right,
a tie?
and that's what I mean. And the two toughest categories that we're all
Right.
kind of like looking for how the rest of the award season they fudged
Yeah.
it. But the little
We hate
girl
them.
from 8th grade,
That's
if you haven't
cool.
seen 8th grade, see it. She got
Yeah.
Breakout Young Star or whatever it's called.
Right
and
on.
it's still one of the most astonishing performances. And all this talk about, how brave it was for Lady Gaga to appear on screen
I'm
without
so tired
makeup.
of her.
I'm like, go watch this girl on 8th grade
Yeah, and you'll
in
see.
an extreme close-up
Right.
on a phone cam do this entire movie where you're just like, oh my God, this poor thing. You know what I mean? Like just 8th grade, up close and greasy personal. And then to have her all glammed up and win the award was really quite lovely. That was nice.
Lovely. That's nice.
And, this it's really, because Regina King won for If Beale Street Could Talk. She's not up for the SAG Award, and she's thanking her publicist. And now, if you see the commercials for If Beale Street Could Talk, they're just running for your consideration ads in Iowa.
They
Like, we in
are.
Arizona are not getting anything except for one of the most raved about, acclaimed performances of the year. And it goes on
they're
about
pushing
her.
that hard.
If Beale Street Could Talk, and then at the end it says for your consideration. You're like, we live in Arizona. Like, I can't vote, right? But they just have to push it because the Oscar nominations close, I think, today or tomorrow. So the ballots are done and have to be mailed back because they get announced next Tuesday. So next Tuesday's entertainment will be slightly longer.
Sure.
So there's that. So we'll be watching to see if Regina King, since she didn't make it into SAG.
She will.
Gonna need you
makes
to
it in
ramp
there.
down the Florida Man stories.
She is well.
Yeah.
in lieu of
liked.
his time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did somebody say Florida Man?
No.
You might need less. So that was that one. So then
I want you to know I created that.
We'll give you producer's rights.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Credit.
executive producer.
Oh,
Very
I
good.
want
EP.
guest. My titles get long. Special guest star, guest villainous, executive producer.
See?
If I make you plug in something, you're going to be a gaffer. So calm down.
grip.
We can do any of those.
Yeah, it's one of the two. Even I don't know. So we didn't. So on Netflix, Dumplin'. We missed it last week. Just the
Super
most
cute.
charming fucking movie. Perfect for a rainy afternoon.
Absolutely.
Or
Jennifer
anytime
Aniston
you
is
can't sleep.
lovely.
I
Jennifer-
love her.
Yeah. Oh, and
The storyline is predictable enough that you can take a little nap and wake back up and still be
And
delighted.
still be
That may
delighted.
have happened to me twice.
and wonder why you.
I
have
love
Dolly
that. And just
Parton
tune right
songs,
back
yeah.
in.
Right. And go, oh my God, I love all these Dolly Parton
Parton
songs. I had no idea.
Here you come
Again.
Oh, it's just charming
Yes,
and
yes,
fun,
and yes.
and I just kicked my feet into delight a couple
I
different
totally
times.
did. Yeah.
It's just a feel-good movie for country western drag queens. Oh, Reba McEntire comes to mind.
Yes. Perfect.
You know, I've spent the last 2 weeks telling people that that's a man right there every time I play clips from that. People look at me like I'm nuts, but then they go, huh.
Ah, yeah. She does look different.
How do you
does
say
look-
it? Find the lie or tell me the lie?
Show me the lie.
Show me the
Show
lie.
Show me the lie. I don't see it. I don't see it. So now Reels is doing this tribute to the 70s this
Yes.
week, and they did the opening thing with I think it's called Donna Summer, Love to Love You, or something like that. Or
Very
Dis-
cool that they had her the kickoff.
They had as the,
Cool,
as the
cool.
kickoff,
To
but
the
the
70s.
Donna Summer pages were just like
Oh,
it's
no,
filled
is
with
it
lies
bad?
and misinformation.
Oh
oh,
my
like
gosh.
she never smoked?
And yeah, because famously there's a video of her in the mixing while they're mixing Live and More, and she's just going to town
Oh
on a
no!
cigarette.
So is it bad?
This is what I've heard. I don't know. I
Ugh,
haven't
was
seen
so
it.
excited to watch it.
I know, and I was hunting
You
around
still
the internet.
can be.
Yeah, you still
Did
can
somebody
be.
tell you
Not
you
if it
can't?
sucked though.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to watch a bunch of lies
Arizona
Right.
man watches Donna Summer special.
and it's lies.
So, and I guess the beginning of the night was focused on like famous people from the 70s autopsies.
Interesting.
Like I looked at the lineup, and the lineup.
Oh, Reels is a horrible channel.
yeah,
it's just
the first
vile.
three shows,
Yeah.
and so they said they
It's
focused
disgusting.
way too much on her death.
Oh,
like
great.
she lived,
Okay.
she lived,
I'll
she lived,
pass.
and then they went on. They died. But watch it and tell me.
I'll
'cause-
tell you.
Yeah, so I'm curious about that.
Okay.
So the on
Train wreck.
Netflix, we had it as our book club selection a couple
We
years
sure did,
ago.
and I remembered it. And then when people started watching it, I'm like, wait, what? Why?
Was I supposed to read this?
Yes.
No, I did read it.
Yeah, because
I
I,
did read it, 'cause
had
it
it
was
in two different
freaky
book
deep.
We were
clubs.
supposed to read it.
One where no one reads the book except for Kat, and the other one where we all read the book but we never get together and talk about it. So I belong to the two most delightful book clubs.
Maybe we should blend those two book clubs.
Yeah, I have
No.
never been to
Can I-
one of the parties, but whenever they announce
Can
a
I
new
just-
book, I always read it, and then like, yeah, I don't want to go to your house.
I'm
Is
in
there
it for
any
the
way
book,
I
but
could be
not for
your
you.
your and guest to the other book club?
Yeah.
And we could just read along with
we
them.
can read along with them,
And then maybe they could listen and hear what we thought about it.
And I honestly don't remember which of my fucked up friends suggested this one, but I think it might have been me because I feel like it's one that I kept on here
No,
on my
I
list.
think it's one of those that we pulled out of like USA Today or something.
Yeah, I
we
think we
had
went
we had
looking-
news articles, like we were on top of that for a minute. And I think that was one of those that was really well reviewed in like the paper.
Yeah, and it was it was a quick read. It's
oh
called
yeah,
You.
just blast right through it, freaking out the whole time.
And I have a friend who is, I love him to death, but he is not. He has no social media, like
Filter.
imprint.
Awareness?
Like he's
Oh, okay.
nowhere. Like
Oh.
he has himself in 3
for him.
pictures. He doesn't check in anywhere. Like I checked him in once to somewhere, and I'm like, okay, I am like 1/4 of your Facebook page now, so I will stop doing that. But so she gets in a lot of trouble because she posts everything on social media, and he finds out too much about her, and
yeah.
she can't find out anything
He
about
like
him
catfishes
because
her Twitter. He's like crazy.
yeah, but she can't
So
find out
good.
anything about him because he puts nothing out there, so he can be anything he wants to be. And I'm like, that's an interesting new
It
way to
is.
go through life. And that's what I say about my friend. I'm like, I don't know anything about you. You know,
I
You
have
know
one-
me.
I don't
I have a
fuck
friend that's
you
not
are.
on social media.
Yeah.
Well, he was, and then he was like, "I'm out."
Oh, this one like
Got
seriously
married.
one picture.
So
Like
this is the
Instagram-
one.
I found him on Instagram. One picture. He's never.
This is the one
posted.
called "You"
Yes.
with Penn Badgley.
Yeah.
Hot.
Oh, somebody with
Yeah.
one picture. It's Tom from
Yeah.
MySpace.
Yeah. it's Tom
He
from
was on
MySpace.
the Penn Badgley was on that show with
Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl,
Is
yeah,
that what it's called?
with the girl that I think can't act, but you liked her in the movie that I'm gonna watch.
That narrowed it down.
I've
a lot.
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah,
saw
that
Gossip
really
Girl,
did.
so I didn't
Wow.
know who was in that show.
The movie that you liked with
Oh, A Simple Favor.
yeah, that one.
Oh,
that
God, yeah.
actor.
That
What's her
movie
name?
is,
in it?
Anna Kendrick and Blake
But the-
Lively.
Blake Lively, I'm convinced can act, but you're saying she can.
Oh, and this
I
one
thought
she's
we were
Okay,
gonna.
perfect.
I thought we were gonna besmirch the name of my future ex-wife,
Never.
Anna
Oh, are
Kendrick.
you kidding me? I
Woo.
love her.
I was
we
ta- I was
woke her.
taking my
We woke
earrings
Kat up. Kat was gonna beat me up.
Speaking of
With her
Anna
wallet.
Kendrick, I stumbled across Into the Woods, the movie soundtrack yesterday,
Yeah.
and
On the steps of the palace.
first of all, Meryl Streep singing "Stay with Me." She can have 8 Oscars. Just let her.
Yeah.
Just that one song. Nope, that's your Oscar. You're out. We're all done. Like you can't like.
That one's beautiful.
You
yeah.
cannot compete with how like the delivery of that song is so fierce. But then I got to Anna Kendrick in The Steps of the
On the Steps
Palace,
of the
and
Palace.
then No One Is Alone, and I'm like,
Oh, I forgot
she
about
is
that.
like, how is she
Yeah.
not? How did that movie not get more nominations besides Meryl? Because James Corden is terrific in that, and they cut his big song though.
I think the Sondheim purists were kind of shitty and
Yeah, they're
really
all
kind of
shitty.
cut that out a lot.
Critics are shitty, but I watched the Critics'
I
Choice
know.
Awards. But James Corden in that, they cut his big song, which kind of kills his part.
Yeah, a little. I mean, a little bit. But
Yeah,
I
they-
mean, he's still
Because you
redeeming.
need that
and-
father-son moment with whatever
Right.
that's called.
Well, and they cut the mysterious man. Like they really kind
Right,
of
yeah, because
smooshed a
without
bunch
the
of things.
mysterious man, then there's no one for him to sing that song to.
Right.
What the fuck is the name of that song? I can't think of it, but it's terrific. But You
I know what
on
you're talking
Netflix.
about.
So I'm 2 episodes in, and I was really, really concerned as to how they would pull that off. And they went back to the old narrator thing that had gotten kind of tired and old,
Yeah.
any kind of movie or TV
Because
show
it
that's
can
narrated.
go badly.
Oh, and it sells it because the book is in the first person of him for most of it. So
No, the book is. Well, yeah, it is first person, but it's him talking to her. Like it's actually.
and that's what the
Is that second person?
yeah, kind of, because it's his thoughts to
Because it's all you. Because he's
saying you.
He says, oh, you look lovely in the like it's that narration to the character that
And
was
that's
so freaky. It was so crazy when we read that. I was like, what in the
and
fuck
that
is
is
happening?
that's what they keep. And so he's like,
I don't wanna
back.
watch it.
I
I
don't
can't.
know who this guy is. But you're like, oh, it's good, but wow, they take on some tough stuff.
I don't wanna I'm not gonna watch
talked
it.
about that. And I can understand it.
I don't like
because-
spooky stuff. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
okay reading it. I don't like. I
You like
actually
to
don't
watch
like to
it.
watch it. I like to
Yeah.
watch musicals and comedies
Yeah.
and sitcoms. And
I get it.
And at first, I thought they jumped a part of the story too soon, and then I remembered the horrors of why that. I was like, "Oh my god, it's not." It's well, I guess it is. It is scary. I guess it just depends on if you've ever been stalked.
I don't like it. I'm not watching
We talked about that. We talked about that. So I guess we're on the death 10.
already.
Yeah, I told you there's not
All
much. I didn't have much for entertainment that I could think of.
Well,
for
I
this
did
week.
see a headline: Steven Spielberg and West Side Story.
Oh god, I wish he would stop talking about that.
They cast an unknown for the female lead.
Wait,
thank God.
What happened?
They were getting thumbs up. So I didn't know anything about it till today. I saw that on Facebook or something. It said Steven Spielberg's. I didn't even know he was remaking West Side Story. That's a big question mark for me. But they said the big
just
news
not
was
a
he
good idea.
cast for the female lead. He cast an absolute unknown. He
Good.
did one, and people
Yeah.
were praising that. And they said that was good.
The song they cut is "No More" from Into the Woods.
Oh yeah, no more. That's
yeah.
that's a great song for fathers that have left, and
Mhm.
that's a beautiful song.
Yeah, yeah. But it makes no sense when you don't have the mysterious man.
Ariana DeBose is cast as Anita, David Alvarez as Bernardo, Ansel Elgort as Tony, and he doesn't have to dance, so that's okay. Rachel Zelger as Maria. You just have to make sure that they have to dance. Like, it's iconic. It's kind of like what we saw, and we'll get right to her with Gower champion choreography. Like, this is Jerome Robbins choreography. Do not fuck with that.
I've never seen a prettier knife fight in my life.
Yeah, there's no better dancing ever caught. There's nothing in that movie that needs to be remade. So then, she lived to be 97.
She did.
Oh, somebody needs to check on Doris Day though. Now that Carol Channing's gone, I'm worried.
She's still with it and holding. So, but Carol Channing passed away at 12:30 this morning.
Had she been ill? Do we know? I mean, aside from being 97.
They said natural causes.
Yeah, I mean, she's had health issues. She was a famous. Let me find her story. I have it picked out here somewhere. Because she's got one of those ones that, like, I don't remember all the things she did. Oh, now it's gone.
So, of course, this morning, first I wake up, check my phone. First
I know, because
thing,
the headline was out earlier.
Headlines come out. And it had come out 3 hours before I even woke up.
Yeah.
So, the first thing, of course, comes to mind. I'm walking through the house. She's passed on. I'm like, oh, it's so good to see you. You just stop right by and say hi whenever you want to. I was immediately going into Carol Channing. So I've talked like Carol Channing all day to myself and to other people.
I was surprised this is the first we've heard of it
today.
Well,
you have to pick your moments. You
Sure.
know, I'm not going to try to step on
this was the one?
Florida
Florida
Man.
Man.
Right. No,
Right.
I waited till we got to the death part. So yeah, I mean the other day I was doing Snagglepuss again, walking around the
Which
house.
I still love.
But now we're back to little Carol, and then I watched some videos today of her and the Muppets. They were singing and having real fuzzy fun.
And I love that Dion Brown bitches about Angela Lansbury's voice, but this thing
he's
doesn't bother him.
There's a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what
Saucer Eye-
cigarette smoked or what cigarette sponsored her most of her life, but goddamn it, Territons maybe.
I don't know. Broadway barnstormer whose offbeat personality and marquee value fueled such golden age musicals as Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and Hello Dolly. And then, you know, give me a part that's got laughter and tears and I'll be like Yul Brynner for the next 1,000 years. God bless her, she did it. She played Hello Dolly in 1965 and she never stopped till they wheeled her off.
79 and then I get it. Yeah, she's been doing it forever.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's played it over 5,000 times.
Wow.
Natural causes. Her publicist and her were friends for a third of one of their lives. And then we supported each other, cried with each other, argued with each other, but always ended up laughing with each other. Like, you're a publicist. A devout Christian scientist who prided herself on never needing an understudy to cover any of her thousands of performances except once, when food poisoning kept her from doing Dolly's Act 2 in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Oh,
Channing
poor
had
Kalamazoo.
successfully battled ovarian cancer in the 70s, a serious but temporary setback she only talked about in later years.
Ovarian cancer is serious. Dude.
Yeah, especially
Wow.
in the 70s.
You didn't have ovarian cancer.
How many people survived that in the 70s?
I
I'm
had
thinking
breast
her and maybe
cancer.
one other. That's what Rod Roddy died from, and Price is Right.
Come on down
To breast cancer.
to breast cancer.
One joke she did like to tell about her health was that she'd only been sick once in her life when she was on a plane and inadvertently watched Barbra Streisand in the movie of Hello Dolly. Only because she realized, wow, somebody can sing
That's
this
what
role.
this song sounds like?
Because I also did that after the show and went home to Barbra Streisand singing Before the Parade Passes By. And I'm like, oh, she just soars. Like,
All
Jerry
of those
Herman was
songs.
probably like, just once. I just want someone to sing this song, like, legit for real.
My favorite moment in the movie is Put On Your Sunday Clothes when she sings All Aboard. And then, like, goes the next chord.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait for it.
Yeah, she's going to jump an octave
There
and
it is.
just kill you.
There it is. It's beautiful.
Ermengarde keeps spinning. No one likes a little ninny.
And a lot-
Ambrose, do a turn. Let me see.
One of the things I didn't realize until later in life, because I guess it was something that wasn't really talked about. Her father was half black, so she had a black heritage
Yeah,
as well. So you look at her, you just think Carol's
would
just a
never know
white
that.
gal, but no, she had black heritage.
So, an only child, she
interesting.
joined the high school debating team because she enjoyed being noticed, and later claimed her interest in theater developed from her mother, Adelaide, taking her backstage to help distribute Christian Science literature to actors. Channing said that as a result, she came to equate the theater with church.
Would you like to talk about Jesus?
Yeah. So, in her
I got
Well,
a,
now I would.
I got a pamphlet for you. You'd like
I
to
would
read?
talk about it with Carol
especially,
Channing.
especially Christian Scientists, because they are wackadoodle. In 2002, her memoir, Just Lucky, I Guess, she wrote that when she was 16, her mother told her that George Channing's mother, Carol's paternal grandmother, was African American. So she's like a 16th or whatever that comes down to. In the
She's like the
2011
Elizabeth
feature
Warren of being
documentary,
African-American.
she confirmed that her mother was Jewish because I guess that was something.
157.
At what point did you have to hide being Jewish in
Well, in
I
Germany.
mean, you might have to change your. I mean, for show business.
Germany
Just
in
for
the
a while,
40s.
but just for a while.
I mean, you had to un-Jewish your name, but everyone knew everyone was Jew. No one was pretending they weren't.
It was all gays and Jews for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, and ovens,
There's
which is a
lot-
bad,
well,
bad
no,
combination.
but the
Nothing like
showbiz
good
community was
Holocaust
all
jokes.
Yeah. So after dropping out of college, the aspiring model actress made the rounds of booking offices in New York and Los Angeles. No one knew what to do with her, and then Anita Loos saw her and suggested she be cast as the airheaded, gold-digging 1920s heroine Lorelei Lee in the musical adaptation of Lou's novel Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Opened in 1949 and gave her signature song Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend.
Oh, wow.
The movies were not because of her mugging and her playing to the role that nobody else can. She didn't get a lot of movie roles, but she did get an Oscar nomination in Thoroughly Modern Millie.
Nice.
So, and
Big
it
star.
she was
Big star.
just too much.
Great career.
But it was the meddling 1890s matchmaker Dolly Gallagher Levi that made Channing an iconic American heroine. Based on Thornton Wilder's The Matchmaker, opened in '64, not even 2 months after the assassination of President Kennedy. Grieving Nation desperately needed some cheer, and that show is just filled with joy.
super fun.
And providing Channing with her annuity, Hello Dolly has never ceased to be performed, invariably in the indelible shadow of Channing, and gave the maturing star the chance to take her own last curtain call in the role in January '96. So that means
Wow.
that the Orpheum must have opened somewhere in the 95-96 season. She got married a 4th time, but she claimed on a TV show, and no one knows if she was with it or just making it up, but she was making some kind of claim to go with the documentary or the book that her husband was abusing her, and then it kind of disappeared. And I guess she's still there.
All right.
So she died with him, and she has a son. But the funny thing with Hello Dolly is it was such a big hit. I can't remember what the producers, Ray Stark, Fanny Bryce's son-in-law that did Funny Girl, bought the rights to Hello Dolly, and they said it's this much money. You just have to wait till 6 months after the show closes, and then you can release the movie. But the show has to be closed for 6 months.
Okay.
Well, Merrick, I think, what's his name? The big David Merrick is the big theater impresario that was not gonna let a dollar go by. So he's how they started stunt casting, and they just kept putting actress after actress after
In the
actress
spot.
into Hello Dolly.
Oh.
Anybody over 40 who hadn't had a part in a while got to be in Hello Dolly, and the show kept running and running, and there was whatever it was, MGM was sitting on these movie rights, but they couldn't get the thing off the ground because it wasn't 6 months later. And then eventually they had spent all this money on the filming, and they had to pay him off and pay him even more money, because then he did it with Pearl Bailey, and they did the all black version of Hello Dolly and went one more time around, and it was a huge hit again. So it wasn't that Hello Dolly didn't make a lot of money, it could just never recoup all the costs that they had to pay to David Merrick to get the rights to this big one. I mean, one of the biggest hits in musical theater history, and it's still touring, and it's just a ridiculously silly show, but it's the greatest showcase. And she's supposed to be about 40. And then they went to one extreme and cast Barbara Streisand at like 25 years old, which if you do the math, she was married for the first time at like 9 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was part of some sex slave ring that happened at the Harmonia Gardens
That's
in the
a different
basement.
show.
Yeah. And then when they brought it back, they started doing
She might have
it with,
been
like,
born just plain white
Yeah.
trash.
all
Wait
of
a
sudden-
minute.
But Streisand was her
It's funny
name.
how it changes it. The theme.
All of a sudden, she's 70 and is
Is
hobbling
Dolly
around the
actually
stage now.
fancy?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
Either way, there's a man in that dress.
Yeah. Hey, she's just trading sex for good real estate in that song.
I mean, she got herself a New York townhouse
So
flat.
it really is funny how that show has just changed the age of that character. Because now she's a ridiculously old 71 years
Yeah.
old. And in some world, Horace Vandergelder is going to go from the young widow to this old dame over here, like this bag
Yeah.
of gas. Like,
Wow.
it just makes it, and it just because now Irene Malloy has to be young enough for Cornelius Hackle.
Right.
So like, I mean, they're just playing with. It's just creepy no matter what age anybody comes out there as, because you're like, well, that's inappropriate. Because Horace Vandergelder is either getting set up with someone that's too young, or like, how old is this old guy?
But you're thinking about it in like 21st century
Right, not
logic
in
too, not in
1890s, yeah.
1890s logic. In 1890s, it would have been nothing for a 60-year-old widower
To marry a 16-year-old
20-year-old
girl.
Yeah, that would have been
Right.
right
It's
on
the whole
point.
plot of The Color Purple.
Yeah.
Mister is considerably older,
Right.
and needs someone to watch his grown-up children. So I mean, it's just clever, and I mean, she lived a good long life, 97.
I love
like,
her. I
yeah.
think she's great.
Yeah, and tons of TV appearances. And like most
Yeah.
people from the 70s, with everything she was on, just know her. She was kind of famous for being famous, as Dion said
and,
today.
And
Right.
being on talk shows, right?
Well, she was on
Yeah.
18
Yeah.
episodes of The Love
Yeah.
Boat.
And she's so
Oh, yeah.
She was
charming
on The Muppets. She
Yeah.
was on every variety show. She came out and did a little dance and a song with
And she would
everybody.
just do that little cakewalk. Like, she really couldn't dance. And it was kind of funny to have her in Thoroughly Modern Millie, because Jazz Baby, she just kind of... Isn't Jazz Baby her song in that? She just kind of moves and imitates a horn, but...
And pretends to play a couple of instruments and
Yeah.
then dances on a xylophone, and that's not how xylophones work. It
Yeah.
wouldn't fucking work like that.
Right.
I have this whole rant about that number. No, listen.
Oh my god.
Because she's dancing on this thing, and no, that's not how they work.
It's not how it does.
That's not how any of this works.
I can show you all of it. And I think it's a terrible movie.
That's not how it
I
is.
always had... Somebody bought it for me, and I'm like, all right, I guess I got to watch this thing all the way through. And I'm like...
There's like 3 charming things that happen in that movie.
Yeah,
And the rest of it, whatever.
like when you can't make Mary Tyler Moore, Julie Andrews, and Carol Channing into a watchable movie, you are just on the wrong
Somebody
track.
missed
But-
hard.
But the Broadway musical
I'm
was
there for that
phenomenal.
elevator scene every time
Yeah, the
because
elevator,
that's
yeah.
adorable.
Uh-huh.
I'm there for the tapioca because I'm a sucker.
Yeah.
Because it's this dumb made up dance that they make up, and it's it's movie musical magic
Yeah.
all day long. And there's probably something else, I don't know. That's about it though.
But I mean,
Carol
I just
Channing.
the whole
Yeah.
by the end of the movie, you're like, what the fuck
What
was
just
that?
happened?
But then the
They're like-
the Broadway
right.
musical was just so streamlined and cute.
They're like catfishing Julie Andrews, who's catfishing her boss. It's just all very deceptive and
Just
weird.
wrong. Somebody's in a green glass love.
So we're also obviously very used to seeing this kind of
Oh,
imagery of Carol
yeah.
Channing. But I thought there's a lot of other pictures, but I thought these 2 other pictures were very cool of her. So this is her very young.
Oh.
And
Imagine
then
that trying to be a model.
and then this
Your
picture, which
face
I
is a
thought was
little
very cute. Just
That is cute.
Yeah.
There's several cute pictures of her out there, but I'm like, how fun, old Carol.
Yeah.
She was a good time. She was fun and funny.
And
Very funny.
she has Barbara's Tony, so I'm not going to argue with her.
Can't fight her.
Yep. Funny
Can't-
Girl lost every Tony it was nominated to Hello Dolly. So what a year to be going to the theater to
Wait,
see
what lost
Funny
every-
Girl.
wait, say that
Funny
again?
Girl lost every Tony it was
Oh,
nominated
to
for Hello Dolly.
Oh, okay.
Which is an unstoppable force.
Well,
So
'cause
that's
Hello Dolly held the record for Tonys until the producers, I think.
yes, it did. The
For
most.
most, they won 10 that year, and that held the record until the producers came along and won like 16.
Wow.
And then Hamilton beat it. Yeah,
I think Hamilton tied it. I think Hamilton only tied it. We'd have to look.
I think the 16 is too high. I think I've got the producers wrong.
I feel like they tied, but I don't know for sure. I know that the producers finally beat it, and it was the longest running show for a while. But now it might barely be in the top 20 because those fucking British shows run forever. Fucking Phantom,
Chucky. Fucking
Phantom of
Chucky.
the goddamn opera is still going on.
Fucking Chucky.
Y'all want to start a band?
No, haven't you seen that video of the little girl? Where the
Yes.
mom's like, what happened? Hit me in the head. He goes, who hit you? Chucky. Fucking Chucky. Little girl. And the mom's like, oh my.
Yeah.
I just love that video.
Like, what's that? The commercial?
No, it's just.
The producers was 12, so it went 10, 12. I think Hamilton's 13. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah.
Talk about Chucky more.
No, I just. Do you have things too? Do you have any of that or no?
No, I think we have a thoughtful though.
Anybody else have?
Well, the only other thing I was gonna. There was a story. I guess I could save it for next week, but yeah, fuck it. I don't know if anybody else saw this, and you really can't be overly surprised about it. But the U.S. Senate last month unanimously passed a bill that would explicitly make lynching a federal crime. I mean, we heard all about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not everyone. Surprising. Not everyone's happy about this.
Shocker.
Oh, I'm sure Steve King has something to say.
Well, it's actually called the Justice for Victims of Lynching Act is what it is. Liberty Counsel, an evangelical nonprofit that opposes gay rights, and its chairman, Matt Staver, are taking issue with the bill's inclusion of the gays. He says, quote, the old saying is once the camel gets the nose in the tent, you can't stop him from coming in the rest of the way. He said this in an interview with the conservative Christian news outlets One News Now. This is a way to slip it under a so-called anti-lynching bill and then to sort of circle the wagon and then go for the jugular at some time in the future. I guess he just thinks the gays are going to take over everything. They're already in your church. I mean,
Yeah.
good Lord.
Right.
Staver told One News Now that his organization, which has labeled the anti-gay hate, has been labeled an anti-gay hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center, is lobbying lawmakers in the House to have them remove the bill's sexual orientation and gender identity language before taking a vote. Similarly, the group encouraged Congress in November to remove language about sexual orientation and gender identity discrimination from a trade agreement with both Mexico and Canada. They don't want any foreign gay people coming in. Liberty Counsel, oddly, the Liberty Counsel did not immediately respond to NBC News' for a request or comment. So just when you think it's all good, there's people always out there still trying to put out your flame.
Yep.
Just in case you were wondering. But that's it. Did you have? We have a thought. Your drunken, thoughtful vulgarity is that where we're going?
Yeah.
I think that's where we should go.
So then we'll do that.
People should watch Schitt's Creek because it comes back tomorrow.
And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck.
Longtime listeners will remember a time when actually we used to get fucked up drunk on this show.
On the regular.
On the regular.
Yeah.
And
waiting
then,
for that to happen
and
again.
then talk about all kinds of stuff.
So much stuff that shouldn't be talked
my gosh, yes.
about. So
So
much
we'll
stuff.
we'll yield our time to the honorable Missy Al to give us our question.
Well, it's based on something that a couple of different friends at different points over the last couple years have brought up this point of like, oh, I have to go see a doctor. Like, I'm awfully tired and I just can't get done what I used to get done. And I'm like, bitch, you're 50.
Because you're getting older.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's just called older. And the one answer I had was like, do you think our parents weren't tired when they were this age raising your ass? Like, your mother was exhausted.
Yeah.
You're exhausting.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
So is this
You're exhausted.
Is this question just where we berate our friends for being themselves?
Yes,
Or
You're turning
exactly.
violent,
No,
Violet.
so it just as I was taking my wet stroll down 11th Avenue the other day.
I might call it something different.
Yeah, exactly. Drunk and hobbling. So like, where do you think you are in life compared to where your parents were at your age now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's
Interesting question.
yeah.
Right.
Oh wait, in which capacity?
And on any capacity,
Oh,
like,
what time is the show going to end? We got a long time.
I know.
We're going to be here a while.
Interpret as you
physically.
will.
yeah,
Douglas Murray,
Wow.
you're
Oh,
up.
so I have to start?
yeah. You're in
You're
the
in
Marnie
Marnie's
chair.
chair. We go this way.
Oh,
on
I didn't
this.
know that. Oh, okay. All right.
Because luckily I had a lot of time to think about that on my walk.
I
Yeah.
had time to think about
Yeah.
it. Well, physically and like, I guess the difference would be I don't have any kids, so that's one obvious one.
So your
And
hips are
they
normal.
did. Yeah.
Your hips are where they should be, right?
Yeah. Once I
Guess.
got over this cervical cancer.
I still have the secretarial spread. Yeah.
So, I think I'm probably as tired as they were when they were that age. I think they were maybe. I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know. I guess I'm just as. I know about. I'm relating more to about the tired thing that you
Yeah.
were talking about than the parent thing, but, because like now I can do like maybe like if, like on a Saturday, but I'm like there's like maybe 2 things I can do, 1 or 2, and that's it. Not like 20 years ago it was like 12 things, let's go. I'm like no, I'm
Right.
gonna go home now. That's what I'm gonna do. So I can relate to that. I don't know. I don't know that I have any other. Wait, what was the question again?
Just
Where am I?
like in life, like compared to like
well, they were probably in better shape than they certainly were more financially secure. Like they were very conservative, paid their house off early, saved a lot of money, so they were very like careful. And I probably have not done. Now I'm doing it, but that's because it's late.
And
you're
they had
forced to
you
be
young,
responsible.
right?
They did at 21 and 23.
Okay.
Yeah, so in their 50s, I was in my 30s. So
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That changes a little bit.
yeah, that's a little different. I'm probably not as healthy as they
That's what Ananja
are.
said too.
Yeah, my parents hike and play tennis and all the things that I used to do a long time ago. That they were probably in better, I don't know, health wise. Maybe they have a little more energy than I do now. I don't know.
Al Perkins, I'm gonna need you to get out of my head. Here's why.
Uh-oh.
I recently had the revelation that I am the same age now as my parents were when I was the most horrible child in the world.
Oh wow!
Like,
So just on your Christmas visit?
I went through that.
no. Like not even based on that. I don't know what kind of sparks it in me. I think it was my challenges with a newly formed teenager
I
that
see.
kind of had me thinking about it, and I realized that I'm 40 years old, and my mother is 23 years older than I am, so I was 17 years old, being awful.
Right.
Well, you were fighting her getting out of dresses. You didn't want to.
No, this was long past dresses. This is when I moved across the country and didn't tell anybody for.
Oh, right.
Like, I disappeared for 6 months.
Right.
Just randomly, and my mom was my age.
Right. Just the most
Well,
awful.
I mean, both my parents were, but
yeah.
yeah,
Just the most awful,
the most
thing you
awful
can
things
do.
that I could do to a human ever in the world. I did to my parents, and did it.
So they spent their 40th
at their
birthday
age.
wondering whether you were alive or dead.
Yeah.
Checking milk
I'm
cartons.
totally relating to what Kat's saying.
Yeah.
Now I'm in because I
Yeah.
was on the spot because I had to go first.
That's okay.
Oh, that's
But
the-
you
it's a
know-
tough
we do
chair.
that. Yeah, it's a tough chair.
It's a
But
tough
you
I
chair.
had my answer right away because
But you know,
I've been
Kat-
thinking about this and kind of telling this story.
And I tell people this because in my 20s I was just a holy terror with my parents, and there was all kinds of drama and just.
No.
I
lived
wanted
far away
that,
from my
you know, I
20s. They
wanted
didn't get to see
live
any of
my
that.
life my way, and then it was just right. And then in my 30s later, when I got mature, and the age gap closes,
Yeah.
So I always tell people like 10 or 15, like my dad and I started like complaining about 21-year-olds together. My dad's like, I don't understand it. I'm like, neither do I. They're all fucking crazy. Like you turn into your parents.
Yeah.
And I apologized to them. And I was like, I have to. And so I told my parents, I want to apologize for about 12 years of my life. Because everything they said was right. Everything they said came true. I was just a holy terror. I was just doing everything the way and I guess you just do that, but I apologize to them, and our
it's the
relationship's
natural
never
order
been
of
better.
things. Like you do eventually just become
Yes,
your parents,
you
and
do.
all the
Yeah.
things that they predicted do tend to come true.
And it's the weirdest thing. I have so many. I do so many things both my mother and dad do. I'm like, I am turning into my mother.
And I think there's a little because I was talking to somebody at the bar about this the other day, and there's a little like evolutionary trigger in there which makes your young self not believe it, so that the cycle can kind of continue. Because honest to God, if somebody had told me 10 years ago what my day-to-day life would be like, you know what I mean, with just 2 kids and job and just like grown-up
Right.
bullshit,
You would've
I'd have gone a
run.
whole different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
not to say that I don't enjoy my
Right.
life or love my family, like those aren't, they're not related.
Right.
But if somebody told you and it actually sunk in like what your everyday life would be like,
Yeah.
you would not do that.
Well, if somebody told me at 22 I was going to be a nurse, I'm like, okay, one of us is super
Right.
high.
Right.
First
yeah.
of all,
One of us
Because you thought you were going to
needs-
be Carol Channing.
Yeah, one of us has to put down the
And
drugs.
doing Hello Dolly at 70.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Wheel me out, boys.
Yeah.
Find her an empty
Oh, I had an
lap,
epiphany
fellas.
about that song earlier today. I'll have to, yes.
And isn't that weird too when you're at that age? You hate everything about your parents, or not, all that kind of stuff, and you're like,
Oh,
I'll
my
never
parents
be
were
like
the worst
that.
people in the world, right?
And now I'm. The other day, I was I was like in the kitchen, and I was doing it exactly the way my mother does it. And there's just things that I rebelled at, and now I'm like and I call her. I'm like, how do you do that one thing again? Because I need to know how to do it again.
So I spent my afternoon standing over and berating and lecturing a 13-year-old boy as he pulled weeds as punishment.
Oh God!
Yo.
So my parents,
Right.
Yeah.
I've become my parents. Right.
Right.
I spent 4 hours doing that today.
Totally.
The only thing I do is I gave
It's
it
been
a
a bad
little
week.
twist at work, right? I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but
Now I'm going to.
here's where it starts. That's Leo. Whenever I see Leo, what are you doing? I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but this is what you need to be doing. I'm going to print up all the paperwork to fix your student loans, and you're going to go home and fill it out. I don't know if he did, but I did print up like an entire booklet.
I don't know yet if Leo realizes you and I are connected.
Yes, he
Oh, he
does,
does?
yeah.
Okay. Because I don't recall ever having a conversation with him about, oh, hey, you know my friend Al, but maybe we did. I just don't recall. But so he does realize that you and I are connected.
Yeah, because when I went to
I don't
find
like your attitude, Kat. I don't like that at all.
She drinks, you know.
when I went
Tell you how to live your life, but
Yeah.
let me tell you.
when I went on Facebook to find him, and I was like, okay, how does he know all these people? And then I saw a picture of him in drag, and I'm like, oh my God, I actually went to one of his pageants
Okay, her
with you
show,
or
right,
something.
okay.
And then we talked the other day because he said he was at Drag Race with you
Right, last Friday.
and
he'll
then
be
I
there.
saw him Saturday night, and then we put it all together that's how I know Brandon is through you and Jason at going to Fez.
Yeah,
Did you get out the whiteboard and draw the L word
Oh,
map
I
on
mean,
the
we
wall?
really did. And some snowy night in front of the fire, I will tell you the story of the sleeping together chart in the Niagara Falls Buffalo area that got the three of us pretty much thrown to the dogs.
I will
because we wrote it down.
I will regale you with a very similar story that I did with the Phoenix community here and how much of just a circle that is.
Yeah.
Oh. And then to find
We
out
did
people
that
were
years ago,
offended,
yeah.
I'm like, well, don't put your dick in it. You know what I mean? There's an easy way out of this thing.
It
Keep
happens.
it in your pants.
Right.
And maybe move to a bigger city where we can't draw it on one piece of paper.
We literally went and bought a whiteboard one night and did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun for a minute.
We did ours.
And then it gets a little less fun.
We did it in permanent
It's
marker.
scary.
I don't think whiteboards were invented yet, and that's why we got in trouble. Clayton,
I tried it once in Joplin. We ran out of red yarn. Trying to do it.
Just all the back and
you
forth.
went more with like a Homeland version.
Then we found out later there was an app for it.
It turned out to be one of those like spirographs where all
Right,
of the
exactly.
lines just connect to each other.
Yeah. Then it became a dream catcher. We're like, we're done.
Yeah. Ooh. Something shiny.
Oh my
Clayton McKee, how much like your parents are you?
Or just comparatively, like your mom at this age, and you and your mom are
My mom is 22 years older than I am. So
Just like my mom.
she was, my mom was 40 when she upended and moved here in 88. So my mom has always been somebody who absorbs change and difference. Like when things come out, she just absorbs it a lot easier, and she can pitch and pivot a lot easier than I can. So she was like, I'm moving, boom, gone. So she's always been that way. I'm not at all established like I think my mom was. She always had her job and she got her shit done, and she always, mom was always very focused on things, and if she needed to get something done or she had to accomplish, she always did it. And I do to a point, but I think there's just something different within how she's wired and how I'm wired, where I can still accomplish and do things, but there's just I think I have a what's the word? Optimistic is not the word I want at all. She'll drive something more to get something done, and I think something will work out more.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always work out more.
Yeah.
I will be more
That
of
sounds
that.
like optimism.
Maybe I'm more,
Yeah,
but
you're like, "It's
she's
gonna
she's
work."
optimistic. Don't get me wrong. She's always been an ultra positive
She's probably
person
more careful.
and a very positive influence in my life. But
more practical.
She'll do more of a bullet point,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom to get stuff done, and
Just
I don't
practical
as
and
much.
and
Yeah.
careful.
And I will find that
That's not- it's like
she'll,
my parents.
she'll stay
That could
on
be a generational
She'll
thing.
stay on a track more than I
That
will.
was my parents.
And I will.
My mom's like, we're on a 16, like within that whole thing, like paying the house off early and planning it out and sticking to it every month. I'm like, I'm out. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, that's not, you know.
I got Pringles
really
to buy, lady. I
yeah,
don't have time
we
to
have
be-
wine to drink out of Pringles cans.
As for
Well, they had their house paid
But
off,
they
and I
were
have a
much
plan to
more-
drink wine
right,
out of a
that's
Pringles can.
exactly
After
right.
I open the bottle correctly
Now
into
my-
cat standards.
now, my mom.
And not like a raccoon.
My mom, I'd say, as far as literally health is concerned, I'm certain my mother is still at her age, is still healthier than I am
Oh,
at
my
49.
my mother's healthier than me right now.
Right, my mom was
She will
always.
probably
I cannot
outlive
make
me.
that same claim.
My mother will outlive me. It's
And
one of my
only,
fears.
and only recently has my mom, like, I think she has, is it her right shoulder? She's starting in the past year or so. She has an issue with raising her arm just because, but the rest of her whole life, she's always been active and
Yeah.
like she's done stretching and
She's
whatever
young- she's
exercises
young
she does.
looking,
at home.
too.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
always been
Oh,
that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I have that, and I think part of that comes from obviously genetics to a point. I think I got some of what the other side of my family has with that, and there were health issues there. No, I'm not saying I have any health issues, but I don't think I will ever be. Well, and then the rest of our family, her sisters were never as healthy as my mom. My mom was always
Yep.
just. No, she never got colds.
Yeah.
She never was
might-
sick. She never
just,
had problems.
As they say, a good constitution.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
She's
right.
got good genes.
But no, I agree. I don't think I will ever.
Sturdy one.
I don't know why I thought of that.
I don't think I'll
That's
ever
how
be
they would describe it.
as established as my mom in that way. I'm established in a lot of different ways, but I mean, I don't think I'll ever be. I'll never match what she
Yeah.
accomplished.
Yeah.
Without, I just don't think it's the same.
I feel the same way.
Well, TikTok, there's still time.
Oh yeah, I'm not dead yet.
You're young.
Yeah.
Chucky, fucking Chucky.
So
The economy's different though. Like financially, it's really
Yes,
hard because the
yes.
median home price is
Yes.
much different
Oh,
compared
God.
to
Oh, yeah.
I
rela-
could-
in relationship to the median
There's no way
income.
I
You know
could
what I
buy a
mean? Like
house.
buying a house was an achievable goal.
Yeah.
my
For our
parents told
parents.
us
Yes,
all the
that's a
time they
good
paid
point, Kat.
$15,000 for their house.
Right.
My parents paid 22,000 for the first house.
This house before the add-on, because remember this where we are
Is the add-on.
was a garage.
garage.
Was a garage. The shop and the back room is an add-on. This
Yeah.
house in 1947 was $10,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I
10
mean,
grand.
Wow.
And now this house is about 350 to 400.
Yeah, on this street.
Because of
sure.
where it lived, because
Yeah.
of where the location
Yeah,
is.
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous.
So as I was doing my drunken stumble, stumble drag, gently roll down the
Kickball
street,
change.
kickball
Hey,
change.
Papa Ray.
Papa Ray.
Boy, like that.
Jazz
Kill your
hands.
brother.
I was thinking about like I had a lot of energy. It was a Saturday night, and I was kind of thinking like of that conversation with my friend about I need to go see a doctor. I'm like, the doctor's just gonna tell you you're 50. Like,
Right.
you're gonna not be able to go out 7 nights a week and drink
Yeah.
every one
Your
of them.
doctor's going
Exactly.
to tell
Your
you to
body's
stop
go-
drinking
And
to
get
go
up
to
in
the
the
gym.
morning and
go
feel
to the gym,
great.
Yeah. You're gonna need a nap, sweetheart.
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this. So as I was just kind of thinking that, and then I was like, because it was just this misty kind of cool evening, and I thought, like where were my parents? Like I would have been like I would have been the terrorist. I'd have been at my age, would have been like 13 to 14 years old.
Right.
When they were 51, 52. So I was not quite the worst human alive, but that was coming
But
up pretty,
gearing up for
coming
it,
up
you
pretty
were really
quick. I had
like-
already locked myself in the
You were
basement.
revving the engine.
And so I was just comparing like, okay, I don't have like children or anything that maybe they would think was an important milestone, but like, could they go for a 2 a.m. walk through the neighborhood, kind of buzzed, with no, like, it didn't matter. I could wander down this street. Like, it doesn't matter. I have all the time in the world. Like, I don't have
Right.
to be somewhere till like tomorrow at 7, or actually, yeah, whatever it was. I had to go see. I had a musical to go to the next
Right.
day. I'm like, so that's like a different kind of satisfaction of like, okay, they had this for what they wanted to do. I have this for what I want to do. Like, it's kind of a nice,
Well, and the wants of a
balance.
generation are different too.
right, and very different.
You know
But
what
I
I mean?
have that work ethic. Like, I'm not tired for anything but the fact that I work like a motherfucker all the time, and
Right.
try to keep goals in place, and like to spend way more money than I make. I don't.
Online and Pringles.
I do
understand.
That's the part that
I'm good at that one.
Yeah, that's the part that I did not. I get the part about working really hard and making the money and working out overtime
Yeah.
and make sure I get paid for any time they see me. But then I'm really good at spending all the money.
Yeah, and this was how would you like to go to your room? Sure.
Sure. Let me find a card. I'll get you there.
Fine.
I'll sell off some PTO and work 3 extra shifts. We'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do something with my backyard, but then I can't travel as much, so fuck it. That'll
And
look
my
like
parents never did
It's just the
anything
desert
like
anyway.
that.
You don't go out.
Yeah,
They
right.
saved all their money. I mean,
And my parents always did car trips. We
Yep,
always were in
car
the car
trips,
driving
yeah.
to see relatives. You know, we would
Yep.
stay in like a motel here, a motel, but most of the time I just slept on the floor of some aunt or uncle's house. And then, you know, when I was the worst child available, they suddenly found airplanes and ditched my ass. Not a bad move.
Smart,
And,
yeah.
You know, found Las Vegas, found cruises because they were like, we're getting to our late 50s. We want to, and luckily they did it because my dad didn't live much longer. But luckily when it was
so they
time
got
to like,
do it.
he's a terrorist. They're grown up and fine. We're taking off.
We're leaving.
Yeah, there will be. You'll get $5 when we die. $5.50 if we, you know, use a coupon at the restaurant today.
Perfect.
But it really was the difference of like the choices you get to make and like you're living kind of a parental life where like we're not.
Sure.
No.
You know, and if you know, yesterday it's Monday. I have nothing to do. My bills are paid. My house is clean.
Well, look-
I'm sleeping till noon, and then taking a sleeping pill at 7 p.m.
And now that you brought that angle up, I always think about that, like not owning a house, not married, and no kids is a much different lifestyle than my parents or than other people had.
Sure.
And there's downsides to it, but you know, sometimes I'm like, I really can just do anything I want.
Yeah.
Like anything. I could quit my job tomorrow.
And 40 years ago, they would have described us as vagabonds.
exactly.
Like, we're, you know, we're basically employed hobos. But now it's a whole different thing. Like, I'm single, I have a car, I have a place to live, I got a job. Fuck you.
They would have described
And
you
it's
as
funny.
confirmed bachelors.
And I see some people like exactly that I know like from years ago, like in friendship circles, and they're now like, they do that low. They call it like your life course. You know, they get married, they have kids, and I'm like, I didn't do any of that. You know, and that changes your. I think it changes your life and you know, how you think and how you live, and it's interesting.
Well, you don't have to survive a terrorist in your house.
No, you don't.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, I'd lock up a teen at 13 and let them out when they were like 20 and be
And
like,
we've
okay,
laughed
we'll give
about
this a try.
This could
I'm
be
getting
another,
a nice clean yard out of it. So.
Another a thoughtful vulgarity question down the road for another time is that often the judgment that you get for not doing those things. Single women can relate to this, or women that don't have kids. You know, there's well, why don't you have kids? It's like there's something wrong with you. I was like, because I don't want to have any kids, right? But there's
there's
that
a
you're
big
deficient.
gender disparity though.
Oh.
Women get that a lot.
Oh no,
guys
I know they do, but we still get it too. I mean, like
I work with somebody.
but
I don't
women
think
get it
she's
more, for
30
sure.
that just had some nervous breakdown because her friends are married and she wasn't.
Yeah.
And like seriously started to cry in front of us and she
Right.
wasn't married. And there's another one who I like kind of
Mormon?
No. There's another one that I watch on
There's a
Instagram.
lot of
She's barely 24.
social pressure.
And she had a whole thing on her Instagram of being like, it's okay, I'm single, my life's not together. And I'm like, you gotta learn to like yourself and be single and be good at being
before
that
you
before
have a
you
kid.
go and do. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But and
that's a whole other day.
yeah, and then like
oh no, I'm just
and
saying
it's
another-
some of it's genetics. I think a lot of it is just the culture you're raised in, and sometimes you're not anything like them at all. Like
Oh yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
you go way the other way.
right. And traits that you're like, where the fuck did that come from? Which every time you see a relative and you're like, okay, which I don't know what branch of the tree has that level of crazy, because I think you grew that one on your own.
I think I'm that branch.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. I'm going to show you this.
And then I mean, Amina's things. She's talking about. I mean,
What?
the cultural things of where she lives, and being kind of mad at her parents for that shit, and being an intelligent and a woman in that part of the world. Like some of this would be very hard.
Where's Amina from?
Kenya. She lives in Kenya.
Oh right, I remember that now.
Making our show international.
Yeah, and
Jeez,
actually, it's very international. We have-
Cambodia?
We have
Good
Nero
Lord.
and an aunt.
I lived in Phoenix.
Yeah. And Nero lives now in
Wow.
Finland, I thought.
Finland. I know it was a land. And Anand's in India.
I knew it was a land.
We are the United Colors of Benetton. right?
Benetton is right there, yeah.
Clayton,
It's
what do you
all
have
tomorrow.
for us?
Show us something.
I have this because I just think it's, again, one of the cutest things ever.
Oh yeah, this is great, Al.
This little girl.
Who put your head Chocolate. Fucking chocolate.
Oh, God.
My head.
Hey, bet your head.
Chocolate. Fucking chocolate.
Oh my God.
You know, you heard her. She heard her parents somewhere saying, "Oh, it was your friend Fred or whatever."
Yeah.
You know, fucking Fred.
Fred, yeah.
Fucking Chucky.
Her accent's so thick for just a
Oh,
little
yeah.
baby.
And so
because it's not an accent to people that
Right.
live in that region.
Right.
That's just how everybody speaks.
I started the week with
Like
the cold.
Chinese food's not Chinese food. It's just
It's
dinner
China,
in
right.
China.
Dinner. Started last week off sick, so I started watching Veep because I knew I could nap through it, but then I couldn't nap, and I ended up watching all 6 seasons. To get
Oh
ready
my
for comeback.
God.
Like you
Went
do.
back to work on Thursday. Could not say anything but the fucking F-bomb.
Oh.
And then somebody was talking about somebody was talking about something, and I'm like, oh, they're just making fun of his accent. It's like teaching a toddler how to swear, like right out of Veep.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
That
But
influence
that
on you.
show is so vile and so delightfully funny.
Yeah.
And watching it now with Trump as president and just realizing how narcissistic and awful she was. And because I was laughing, I just never really tuned in to what an absolutely despicable person she is.
Oh, she's so horrible.
Because she's so busy making
Yeah.
me laugh, I would be friends with her. Because I'm like, oh, just
Right.
say that shit to me all
Just
the
say
time.
funny
And I
things.
won't even care. But watching it this time through, I'm like, oh my God, that's our president. That's him. This fucking idiot with this troop of imbeciles around her that can't sink a ship.
hamburgers.
And hamburgers.
Hamburgers.
It really is. And I love that she said we were making a satire. Who knew it was a documentary?
Yeah.
And it's a terrifying rewatch.
Well, let's take 5 minutes because we only started a quarter after the hour, so we're still just a little over 3 hours. We'll take 5 minutes and enjoy the latest from our your friend and ours, little Randy Rainbow, and his latest video, just because we can. So here we go.
I'm here now with Vice President of the United States and RuPaul's Drag Race Season 3 finalist, Mike Pence. Mike, thank you so much for joining me. Mr. Vice President, we are currently in the midst of the longest government shutdown in history as the president continues to fight for his border wall. Well, it was a wall, and then it was a fence, I think, and then it was steel slats. So what are we calling it today? 2 folding chairs and a bike lock?
The president said we'll build a steel barrier.
And what do you say to critics speculating that Donald Trump's actions are selfish, immoral, impulsive, and politically motivated?
Well, look, the American people aren't as concerned about the political debate as they are concerned about what's really happening at the border.
Well, is it really as bad as he says?
Last year alone, 17,000 individuals with criminal histories were apprehended at our southern border.
Why not hire them as senior White House officials? They'll all be convicted eventually.
Democrats refuse to even negotiate.
Well, until this gets sorted out, hundreds of thousands of federal workers will go without paychecks, and he doesn't seem to care.
That's right.
I guess, why should he, though, right? I mean, after all, he's got money in the bank, he's got spray tan on his face, he's got baseless facts and figures, which he figures please his base. He's got golf at Mar-a-Lago and a ton of Adderall. What ain't he got? A border wall.
That's right.
He gets angry, he gets tough, he gets up and leaves the room. He gets all the Egg McMuffins he can humanly consume. He's a toddler and until he gets his way, he'll make a fuss. And who's gonna pay? Most likely us.
That's right.
Whether it's a concrete wall, steel slats, or a few decorative brass poles, there is nothing like an unnecessary 2,000-mile barrier that says, hey, look at us, world, we're a bunch of motherfucking assholes. See what I did there? There is nothing like a wall. Nothing in the world. Nothing's as impractical as a beautiful border wall.
My fellow Americans.
He gets badgered, he gets booed, he gets heckled coast to coast. He gets valentines from Putin and advice from Hitler's ghost. He gets labeled irresponsible, inhuman, and unfit. What can't he get? Girl, he can't get shit. When it comes to behaving like a rational adult, he finds nothing duller. There is nothing whatsoever like a totally manufactured national emergency to distract everyone from what's actually on his mind, which is, you guessed it, Robert Mueller. I just love the way it feels in my mouth. There is nothing like a wall. Could distract from Mike and Paul. Like his rhetoric about a wall.
Stop the criminal gangs.
Nothing else would be so tall. Nothing in the world could make up for just how small his own penis is like a wall.
That's right.
Sarah, Donald Trump told us that Mexico would pay for the wall, but now he's saying he never meant they would pay up front and that they'll instead pay in 263 million easy installments of $19.95.
You know, we'll see what happens, but the president is committed to making sure that one way or another, whether it's through...
He holds rallies just for fun. He has merchandise for sale. He gets only the best people till they quit or go to jail. He's got Rudy Giuliani. He's got high cholesterol. What ain't he got? A goddamn wall. There is nothing like a wall. Nothing in the world. So the government can stall just as long as he gets his wall.
This is a humanitarian crisis.
Nothing protects like a wall.
Mexico's going to pay for the wall.
Or deflects like a wall.
A bona fide emergency.
Can't save face like a wall.
Donald Trump has to build the wall.
Or please his face like a wall.
Build the wall.
Nothing acts like a wall. Except maybe Melania. Or distracts like a wall.
And the Russia investigation.
And not a thing will work for Nancy and Chuck till they agree to giving the schmuck his big, embarrassing, racist, superfluous wall.
Mexico's going to pay for the wall.
Oh,
That's it. That's good.
You gotta love the Randy Rainbow. Very
So
funny.
good. It's always good. It never like drops.
Oh, and he's all over Instagram too.
Oh yeah, I
He's
follow
a fun
him
one
on
to follow.
all the interwebs. I
Because
get
between
you.
him, Dan Levy, and the Onion, I'm covered on the Instagram.
I
Although I have no idea.
I have to do Dan Levy on this.
I could be covered by Dan Levy and be happy about it. I just think he's
I
wonderful.
I do too. I'm in love with him.
Wonderful.
He is amazing.
Tomorrow night, Schitt's Creek is their premiere, season
Yay.
5 on the Pop Network, or catch it on whatever device you choose to see it on. Doesn't make any difference.
Canadian listeners can listen to it tonight.
Yeah, bastards. Anyhow.
Oh, that's because I'm watching their Instagram. Because I'm like, why is it on today? Why do they keep saying it starts today?
We'll find it. Holy cow. Well, thanks to everybody in the chat room for playing along.
Yeah, there were so many of you.
Doug, thank you for filling in
It was a
as
pleasure.
you normally do.
It was wonderful.
Be sure to find out if Doug's here next week. You never know. But as we wrap up tonight's show, let's leave you with his parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday.
Find out what's in Marnie's bag.